Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from NoDQ.com.
This is Talk Wrestling. You're on youtube.com/NoDQCAW, you're on myspace.com/NoDQTalkWrestling, or you're on NoDQ.com. In any event, thank you for watching Talk Wrestling number 52. We are on location, an undisclosed location, although if you're, we're not at Aaron's house, figure out where we are. Today is... There's no okay, the WrestleMania thing's way down here on my fat belly, but WrestleMania predictions. This is the WrestleMania 18 t-shirt, the official WrestleMania 18 t-shirt. Icon versus Icon. Hogan versus Rock. I wasn't there, but I ordered it. It was the best WrestleMania at that time. 2002. There you go. Anyway, talk about WrestleMania today. I'm going to give you not only my predictions of who I think will win, but who I would like to win. So on we go. The 25 Diva Battle Royal, the winner to be declared Miss WrestleMania. You'll be seeing divas from the past and the present. You know, it's very cliche that Trish will win. It's pretty much a given that if it's a past diva, it's going to be Trish Stratus that will win. Sunny will be in there, and Sunny will hold her own, but she won't end up winning. If it's a current diva, I will go with current diva. I'll have to say either Kelly or Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix was the Diva of the Year. What are we predicting, the studio audience over there? Maria? Okay, maybe Maria. Maria was a Playboy cover girl last year. After all, she was the hot ticket at WrestleMania last year. So maybe she'll win. You never know. But that's what our live studio audience thinks. What do you think? Let me know. Talk Wrestling NoDQ at yahoo.com or myspace.com/NoDQ Talk Wrestling. Again, I don't know why they're random. I don't know why the dogs bark. It just happens. This is Talk Wrestling after all. Dogs bark, trash trucks go by, Aaron laughs, the studio audience sighs in despair. And they giggle every once in a while, and they snort. It's a beautiful show. It really is. You snorted. Whatever you did, it was funny. You went... That's what you did. Jaden Dillon, everybody. Jaden Dillon over there. Chilling out, you know. But not on camera, because they don't do that anymore. They're out of the business. They're cool like that. They don't have to do this for a living. Even though I don't make a living, all I do is get free lunches.
You said it.
I did say it, you're right. Well, you said it before we went on the air. Alright, anyway. The worst Intercontinental Champion in the history of Intercontinental Champions! John Bradshaw Layfield against Rey Mysterio. If you believe the rumors, if you believe the hype, JBL will win and retire as champion. Go out on top. That's his big announcement that's coming up soon, according to Meltzer, according to a lot of the rumor mills. That's what's going to happen after WrestleMania. JBL will retire as a champion, which he wanted to do the first time. I would like to see Rey Mysterio become Intercontinental Champion and be a Grand Slam champion in WWE, because he's been Tag Team Champion, he's been World Champion. I'd like to see him achieve the Grand Slam, but in all honesty, I think JBL is going to come out on top. He's going to be one of the heels that comes out on top this coming WrestleMania. Speaking of heels coming out on top, in the Lumberjack match for the Unified Tag Team titles, yes, Carlito and Primo are a hot team right now, but there has been no hotter team since late 2007 than The Miz and John Morrison. And I believe that streak will continue. I believe they will be the Unified Tag Team, World Tag Team, whatever they're going to call them, Tag Team Champions. I'd like to see Carlito and Primo win, but I honestly want to see Miz and Morrison win more. So that's my prediction and my want. I want Miz and Morrison. The Lumberjack situation, as they announced in ECW either last night or the night before, depending on when this goes up, kind of sucks. I mean, you know, they're going to see a lot of guys out there that are going to get their WrestleMania moment and the Lumberjack match. And you're not going to get to see an ECW title match. You'll probably see Jack Swagger out there being a Lumberjack. Christian's Money in the Bank. I'm sorry. You know, Tommy Dreamer. How about an ECW title match between Dreamer and Swagger? You know, Dreamer's been petitioning for a title match. He said he'll retire by June if he doesn't get a title win. Why not have that match at WrestleMania? Why not have Tommy let Tommy have his WrestleMania moment? He had one fleeting moment at WrestleMania when he and the other HW Originals beat the New Blood. New Blood, New Breed, whatever they were called. New Breed. Wow, New Blood. 2000, yo. WCW. Yeah. You know, it sucks that they're having that many people be in a Lumberjack situation as opposed to having matches. But, you know, we've got 9 matches as of this taping for WrestleMania. I think that's enough. So, I see Morrison and Miz coming out on top some way or another. Money in the Bank. Winner gets a World or WWE title shot. Notice they don't include ECW in that. I think that's still shitty. I consider the ECW title the World title. It is the top title of a brand of WWE. It's defended all over the world. It should be a World title. But they don't consider it that. Go figure. CM Punk, Mark Henry, Kane, Shelton Benjamin, Christian, Kofi Kingston, Finlay, and the new United States Champion, Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP. I don't know what that was, but it just kind of came out of my hand there. I don't know why I did that. My prediction is Christian will win Money in the Bank and go on and cash it in and get his first WWE World or WWE Championship win. That's what I see happening. I'd like to see Kane win and be a world title shot. I'd like to see CM Punk get it again and get another shot. I'd like to see Shelton Benjamin, actually, believe it or not. A lot of people don't like Shelton Benjamin. I like Shelton Benjamin. He's obnoxious as a U.S. champion, but he's good. He's very, very good. And I'd like to see him get a world title shot. But my overall prediction is going to be that Christian is the man. Christian will get his shot, and he will capitalize and become World or WWE Champion. The Legends versus Chris Jericho. You've got Roddy Piper, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and the Superfly, Jimmy Snuka, accompanied by the Nature Boy himself, Ric Flair, and maybe even supported in the front row by the man who should have won Best Actor, Mickey Rourke. He won the Best Golden Globe Actor. Mickey Rourke's the man. I love Mickey Rourke. Against Chris Jericho. 3-on-1. I think this match is kind of silly, to be honest with you. I think it's just trying to get Jericho some sort of Mania moment and give these legends another shot at glory, like Jericho's been talking about for the past few months. But But Steamboat's going to the Hall of Fame this year. Piper's in, Snuka's in, Flair's in. Jericho has main evented at WrestleMania before he's had his WrestleMania moments. He defeated Ringo to hold on to the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. He had a great match with Benoit and Angle. I said the B word. At WrestleMania 2000. He main evented against Triple H in 2002. Shawn Michaels 2003. Christian 2004. The first ever Money in the Bank 2005. You know, Jericho's had his WrestleMania moments. Piper, to my knowledge, won twice at WrestleMania. Steamboat has won once, twice. The dogs help me count. Oh, they lost count. They lost count over there. Damn dogs. I believe Steamboat's won twice at WrestleMania. Snuka, to my knowledge, has never won at WrestleMania. I don't have WrestleMania history in front of me, but I believe Snuka's never won at WrestleMania. Jericho's main evented and done everything at WrestleMania. I think it's the Legend's time to put Jericho in his place, beat him down, and just knock his ass out. Legends win. I want to see the Legends win. I can't stand Jericho right now. I want to see the Legends win, and I believe that's exactly what's going to happen. And then make Jericho come in and get his kicks in, too, just for the shits. Extreme Rules. A brotherly battle between Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. This has been, you know, it's really, in storyline-wise, only been 3 months in the making, but, you know, this has been a few years in the making. You know, they've broken up a couple of times and gotten back together and broken up and gotten back together. To me, Matt has the advantage of Extreme Rules, but as far as the brawling side of it, but Jeff Hardy has the advantage of Extreme Rules as far as the high-flying, the RVD style of Extreme. And I see Jeff's advantage winning out over Matt's advantage. Personally, I want to see Matt win, because I'm so sick of Jeff Hardy. I didn't like when he was WWE Champion. I know some people don't like that opinion, but I'm sorry, I don't like Jeff Hardy. I haven't liked Jeff Hardy since he's been busted twice for the policy, wellness policy, that's what I was trying to think of, the wellness policy violations. He is a flake, he's a joke, and he sucks, and he needs to go away. Matt Hardy is the reliable one. Matt Hardy is the one that will carry a, here comes the mail. Thank you, sir. Crap. Okay. Huh? Nobody's crap. That's not our crap. It's everybody else's crap. In case you haven't figured out where we are, there's a real good clue. Anyway, I believe Jeff will win, but I'd like to see Matt win that match. I really do. But I will get my wish this year for that match. Then you got the 3 main events. I say 3. There's really only 2 main events according to WWE, but I think Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker is a bona fide main event match. And yeah, I mean, it's Mr. WrestleMania against the Streak. It's Icon versus Icon, Legend versus Legend. Undertaker's never beaten Shawn Michaels one-on-one. There's always been some sort of problem. But Undertaker pointed this out on Raw. The last time Undertaker and Shawn Michaels had a one-on-one match, Undertaker backdropped Shawn Michaels over the top rope onto the casket and broke Michaels' back. And he was out for 4.5 years. Undertaker's got the edge psychologically. Michaels may claim he's not afraid, excuse me, but at WrestleMania, everybody's afraid of The Undertaker. That's just the way it is. So, my prediction is Undertaker wins. My choice is Undertaker wins. I don't want to see the streak end. I don't want to see that legendary status die from anybody. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, you know, Kane, Orton, anybody. I don't want anybody to beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. That streak should stay intact until he retires. That's the way it should be, and my prediction is that's how it will be. This World Heavyweight Championship drama soap opera episode between Edge, The Big Show, and John Cena will play out at WrestleMania, finally. And I see the champ returning to his championship status, John Cena. And I see Vicky Guerrero being very upset about that. And probably saying, "Excuse me!" about 100 times. Excuse me! Thank you. Dylan, you want to chime in? You got this? No? He's being shy? Okay. You happy, boy? Alright, good. Alright, good. He's trying to get everybody's glasses. That's his modus operandi. He goes for glasses. Anyway. John Cena will become the new champion. Personally, I'd like to see Edge keep the championship and go into a feud with Christian over the title if Christian wins Money in the Bank. But, you know, realistically, John Cena has to come out as World Heavyweight Champion because I predict that Randy Orton will be the new WWE Champion. Randy Orton's taking out the entire McMahon family. What's going to stop him from taking out Triple H? Orton has the edge for now, psychologically, as of this last Raw. And I firmly believe in my heart that Orton will win out at WrestleMania, one way or the other. And I believe that. I firmly, truly, honestly, psychologically, mentally, physically believe that. Orton has taken out every other McMahon, and Triple H will be no different. Triple H will be taken out at WrestleMania. Orton will be the new WWE Champion and go into a feud with a high-profile superstar. Don't know who yet, but we'll find out. I believe that's it. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it for as of this taping. If any more come up, go to my blog on Talk Wrestling's MySpace, which is, again, myspace.com/NoDQ Talk Wrestling. You can find all of our videos at that website, well, not all of them, but 50 and on, and numbers 1 and 14 through 16, as well as a couple interviews from RVD in the past, and on youtube.com/NoDQCAW. For the greatest WrestleMania coverage in the history of WrestleMania coverage, of course, NoDQ.com. Make sure your Internet Explorer is working properly, or your Flock, or your Safari, whatever you use. Make sure it's working properly, or you won't get the best coverage out there anywhere. If you want to order it, of course, well, you gotta go to www.com or your cable company. But, you know, do you really want to pay $55 for WrestleMania? I don't. I will, but I don't want to. Aaron won't be there at my house this year. He'll be doing coverage from the great up north. Northern Kakalaki, California. And of course, I'll be here at the undisclosed location watching on my big screen. That's it for WrestleMania predictions. Next week, we get back to your questions on Talk Wrestling. For now, bye.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Gary Hebert, the man, the myth, the legend. I was amazed, and I was looking to become a better skater myself, and I wanted to be like Gary.
When you look at a guy like this, he's one of the most talented people in his profession. He's been given gifts by God.
It can get frustrating at times when you're trying things that, that maybe don't come as quickly to you as other things. And, you never really felt that sense of frustration with Gary. It was always about improvement and positive reinforcement.
Was it really the end? Was that head injury really the end? God has called Gary to continue to be a blessing to others and to be a passionate example.
My name is Gary Hebert, and this is the World Academy of Hockey, otherwise known as the Inside Edge.
I would recommend anybody that have a chance to come to his hockey school. I think it'd be well worth it. It'd be rewarding to all the kids and anyone he coaches, from whether it's an adult, a professional player, to a little kid like a Mite or a Squirt.
Gary, from day one, has been instrumental to my hockey career. I started out as a potential Division III player, and Gary brought me single-handedly through high school and into a top Division I prospect. I owe it all to Gary, the biggest legend on and off ice there's ever been.
Listen, watch, learn, be confident, and have faith. Those are the answers I was brought to. Yet, I only now am really learning how truly important those 5 things are.
Through preparation, through appropriate thoughtfulness and thinking, we can learn to untie the typical knots between our ears that drive us into underachievement and underperformance. And lo and behold, we can learn, I think, to fulfill our God-given potentials.
Gary has the innate ability to make people not only better players, but better people. The life lessons they learn from Gary are incredible.
I can always remember leaving that rink knowing as a player I got better or I had something to improve on to get better. And I think that's what you excelled on as a coach, is giving us the knowledge to know what we needed to do to get better.
There's coaches who know the game, but can you communicate and create passion in your kids and in your players? And Gary's able to do that.
Gary's got great knowledge and the great hands, but more importantly, his ability to connect with people and care for them. His communication skills, to me, really stand out and separate him, and that's why he's one of the best, in the world.
Gary's a legend. He's a special man.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's installment of Renegade of Wrestling. I am your host, JJ Williams, here to bring you my review of Battleground Pro Wrestling's Legion Hall of Doom, which occurred this past Saturday, June 30th, at American Legion Post 716 in Los Alamitos, California. I'm sure y'all have seen some of the stuff that has been going up. We were on top of things on Saturday. We had pre-match promos go live on the channel, featuring Mikey O'Shea, Pinky and his Nobody, the Suburban Commandos, Tyler Bateman and Rays, and a couple others. We had matches go up almost as instantaneously as we could. I mean, seriously, it was about as good as you can get to an iPay-per-view without being iPay-per-view. It's like we had to let the batteries charge a little bit. We had to offload and miss a couple of matches, but I think about half of the show went virtually live as it was happening. In case you're wondering, this is the Battleground Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship that I have on my shoulder. Big thank you to Rico Dynamite for allowing us to hold on to it for the time being. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes, what y'all want to see and hear, the review of the show. Show started off with Rico Dynamite coming out to cut a little pre-show promo about his match with Sheik Khan Abadi. Jeff actually was in the ring and called out Rico a la Ricardo Rodriguez. He was like his personal ring announcer. Rico came out and made fun of Jeff. You can check out the video. It is up. Please watch that. We went straight into the first match, Mikey O'Shea versus Levi Shapiro. And on the prediction show, the hype video that me and Jeff did, I called this a throwaway match. Basically made it seem like this match didn't fit in on the card. And I have to say I was wrong. Levi Shapiro and Mikey O'Shea pulled out a hell of a match. For at the end of the day, something that didn't have a whole lot of story or detail going into it. And they made it something worth watching. So I want to go ahead and publicly apologize to Levi and Mikey. If I offended either one of y'all by calling it a throwaway match, y'all definitely proved me wrong. Next up, Silverheart Radicals versus The Revolution. Awesome, fast-paced tag team match. This video is also up on the channel. Check it out. It's from a hard cam perspective, so it's not all up close and personal. Check out the video for this one as well. You can see exactly what we mean. The Revolution are quite possibly one of the best tag teams on the SoCal indie scene right now. And these guys, you just definitely have to get out there when you find a fed that they're going to be competing at and check these guys out live. They're phenomenal. After that, we went to the Ring Warrior Championship match. Jeremy Yeager successfully defending his title against Seville and the returning Perry Von Vicious. Again, another great triple threat match, fast-paced, action-packed. The Ring Warrior division is very much like our Cruiserweight division. Give you guys something to compare to, or our X division. These guys just have no regard for their body and are constantly doing whatever it takes for a fun and action-packed match to get the crowd into it. Like I said, Yeager retained. Once again, this video is on the page. Check that one out and see what they had to offer. From there, we went to a little bit of a ring segment with Sean Cosby doing Wrestlers Say the Darndest Things, featuring the Derevko brothers and Danny Ramirez. Maybe it's just me, but I can't just say Derevko's normal anymore. You gotta try to get the Russian accent and get the Derevkos. Basically, the Derevkos had issues with those guys stemming from the last show. Those guys, before they got eliminated from the company, their final course of action was to make sure that the Derevkos were not booked for the show whatsoever. But the way those dastardly Russians always do, they found a loophole, and Alexis competed against Foob Dog, Battleground mainstay. Made very short work of Fubi. You know, Sasha and Alexis jumped him. I'd say jumped him from behind, but they pretty much hit him head on as he was coming to the ring and blindsided him. Didn't have much time. This prompted the Suburban Commandos to come out and introduce Alexis to one of their buddies from NorCal, Johnny Plinko, making his Battleground return, Jeff Meacham's new favorite wrestler. We hadn't seen Johnny since about September of last year, so it was cool to see him back in the Battleground ring. Disposed of Alexis Derevko, no problem. And we'll see if anything develops out of this, or if it was, just a one-off deal. After that, since the Commandos were already out there at ringside, we went to the tag team titles. Suburban Commandos defended their straps against the Working Dead, B-Boy and Chris Cadillac. This was like a best of NorCal tag team versus a best of SoCal tag team match right here. Commandos are well respected in the Bay Area. Working Dead, B-Boy gets a lot of respect wherever he goes. And Chris Cadillac is very quickly getting that same respect. The two teams put on a hell of a matchup, very hard hitting. Find the match on the channel, just look for it. Then we get to the real true meat and potatoes of the show. Famous B defending his West Coast Wrestling Company Heavyweight Championship against the certified badass Rick Ellis in arguably the hardest hitting match of the night up until that point. The two men fought outside the ring. We saw a darker side of B than we had ever really seen before, and I hope we get to see more of this intensity that Famous B brought to the matchup. It kind of sucks that it took, Rick Ellis to bring this out of him, because I like this side of B, but I hope that's not the end of it. I hope we get to see a lot more things between these guys before their feud is over. Be on the lookout for that one. That one will be up shortly. Whenever Adam from West Coast Wrestling posts it, we will definitely be sharing it on our Facebook and Twitter pages, because that match was just fucking phenomenal. As was the next match. Tito Escondido versus Tyler Bateman. No disqualification. Falls count anywhere. The tweet of the night was hashtag holy fucking shitballs. These two guys literally went everywhere in that Legion Hall. They destroyed the merch table. They destroyed the table that was hidden under the ring. They used dollies. They used, a bunch of other stuff. They used caution wet floor signs. Ray's, Tyler Bateman's manager, took that to the head and just sold the crap out of it like a champ. I don't know if she was really hurt or what, but she took that, and I started feeling for her. Seriously. Arguably, that was the match of the night. Once again, once that match gets posted by Battleground Pro Wrestling, we will be sharing that one all over Twitter and Facebook as well. The main event of the night, of course, though, was the match for this championship. The Battleground Pro Wrestling Heavyweight title versus Sheik Khan Abadi. Rico Dynamite defending this, like I mentioned earlier. And that match, again, it was just off the hook. Very, very action-packed. A lot of us thought that Sheik was going to add one more championship to his collection, because he's already Action Coast Empire Heavyweight Champion and the Devil Mountain Wrestling Heavyweight Champion up in Northern California. And we totally expected him to add a SoCal strap to his vast growing collection, but alas, he was unsuccessful this time. Maybe next time he will be able to make it happen. But that is basically the rundown of what happened at Legion Hall of Doom. Shame on y'all if y'all weren't there. You need to definitely make it out to Red, White, and Bruised coming up in July. I believe it will be July 28th. Don't quote me on the day. We'll let you know as we get closer and closer to the show. For Casa D18 Studios Channel, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, and I will see you next time right here.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the stat boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa D18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show. The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
What's cracking? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. This is the new and improved Chicks on Wrestling. I am your hostess, the wonderful, talented, charming, challenging, bright, sexy Pinky. This is...
I'm Clea. Hi.
Hi, guys. We just felt, do a little quick video. Chicks on Wrestling is officially back. I can't even say co-host. This is my homie. The girl. Smart girl called Leia. Known her since when? Shoot.
It's like 6 years.
6 years? Damn.
Yeah.
Has it been 6 years? Six years. We haven't really hung out that often, but we figured, what the heck? We want something fun, new, and yay. As you guys can see, we're in our mini mouth ears. You want to tell a story or show?
We went to Disneyland today for JJ's daughter's birthday, and our friend JJ, which is
the Renegade of wrestling, right?
Yeah,
man
here.
Over yonder somewhere.
He doesn't want to
show his face.
Okay.
Whatever.
Spotted the Daniel Bryan T-shirt that says yes on it, and of course he likes saying no. So we weren't paying attention, and he said, "Hey, Daniel Bryan's T-shirt's like right there." We said, "Where?" So we said, "Okay." So we saw the yes shirt, so we started going, "Yes, yes, yes." AJ Lee style, but AJ will go to you later. So then one of the team members from Disneyland actually started a chant saying,
No! 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 No!
That was the highlight of the day.
That was the highlight of the freaking day. We're both going, yes! And
Yeah.
you going, no! It was funny. Daniel Bryan, yeah, I'm just going to call you what his name is. Brian Danielson, the American Dragon. This one's for you, buddy. You are well known at the Disneyland Park in Anaheim, California, homie. This for you. That was the funniest ever. That was funny.
Most memorable ever.
I agree. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
besides the pants, homegirl was wearing the glasses and somebody threw a can of paint on and said, here, bitch, wear that. I'm like, what the fuck? Is that flowers and shit, nigga? Flowers and... Aww.
Paint right there.
Hell fucking yeah.
It was like paint.
Paint here. Wear that. And she actually rolled around in her. That's not right.
Yeah.
Anything else from a time?
What else?
Oh, you don't like AJ Lee's character, do you?
Oh, AJ Lee.
Uh-oh.
I love you. You're a good idol to be a wrestler, you know, but the whole gimmick that they're giving you, it sucks. Why are they making you whore around the locker room of WWE? They should use you for wrestling. That's it. Not eye candy. Not being Dolph Ziggler's bitch. And what's his name? Big E Langston?
Big E Langston.
Dude, you know how to talk now?
Oh.
Like, you weren't talking for the past weeks.
Damn. Holla. For those of you who don't know who Big E Langston is, former Florida Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champion. He really didn't talk much either, but he really wasn't that big. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I just broke the fourth glass ceiling. Ooh.
Yeah, and
Hi, Coca Banner.
And I believe AJ and Dolph was mad about him talking.
Yes, they were quite pissed off.
This happened last week or?
He's been talking like the last 2 weeks. So last
2
week's
weeks.
Monday Night Raw, he's been running his mouth. I'm like, no, you have a girly man voice. Is that all them steroids? Oh, I'm sorry, muscle. Oh, no, it's hard work and training, huh?
It's more like big head. No, sorry, opposite. Small head, big body.
Big body. And he's got that like hog. No, I'm
mohawk.
sorry.
He doesn't have a mohawk.
I don't know what the hell. He's bald. He's bald on the sides. What? Oh, it's a nappy mohawk. That's what it is.
Nappy.
No,
That's
girl.
a good one.
He looks something like Stevie Ray. Oh, beautiful. He looks something like Stevie Ray, Bobby Brown on steroids. Oh. I don't think I'm supposed to say that. That was funny. Yeah. Your Big E is running his mouth. I'm like, shut up. Just sit there and not look cute, please.
Seriously.
Now,
just stand there like a bodyguard, like what you're supposed to do. Yeah, like.
So.
Like you're gonna be a genie in a lamp or something. Like, really, dude?
Yeah,
I grant your wish.
Squeeze caught on camera training worldwide. AJ Lee's a fantastic wrestler.
She is.
I just can't now the Kids Heard Around the World was not the one that her and John had, or her and Kane had, or her and Brian Danielson had, or her and who?
Kane,
or CM Punk.
CM
Thank you.
Punk.
It was the one that she shared with Dolph Ziggler at the Slammies.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That was hot. I'm like, all in your face show, aren't scratching around. I'm like,
And AJ, it's not John Cena's fault that he got you fired. You did that on your own.
Being a hoe. Being a crazy
hoe.
hoe.
The whole bag.
Being a hoe bag. Being a hoe bag. Being a hoe bag. Hoe bag.
You're gonna get so much trouble.
Totally not. We pretty much say anything on this show.
And CM Punk, what's going on with you, dude? What is going on?
Speak on it. I'm all but done with Punk. He done lost his mind, lost his smile, lost my respect. Kiss my ass.
Yeah, dude, you have the belt. You don't have. You're not God, like what Rock was saying.
Your arms are too short to box with God, nigga. What?
I mean, you have Hippopotamus. Oh, what's his name? Walrus.
No.
Walrus with Twinkie side titties.
Cuckoo, ka-choo. Oh.
In your side, holding up your belt, because that makes it be like your bitch. But anyways.
I wonder who's tasting up the ass, Punk or Walrus. I'm sorry, Punk or Heyman. He is a Paul Heyman guy.
Heyman is part of the Divas, isn't it? That's what Rock said, right?
Yeah,
Right?
that's exactly what it said. He's part, that's kind of wrong. So, wait, if he's part of the Divas, do we need to bring back Carmen to take care of his ass? Off and on?
Maybe.
Yeah, because she ran through all the dudes in TNA. Yes, because it would be funny. Yes, it would be funny. Yeah.
And the Divas, what's going on with the Divas?
Oh my God. The only diva I'm even giving a tiny bit of hint of respect for is Eve Torres, who I have called the Hostky of the Millennium. She is actually stepping aside wrestling for a while to do a self-empowering women's jiu-jitsu class. I will be attending that this coming Saturday, January 19th in Torrance, and she will be as well.
Probably, I'm not sure.
Probably, we're not sure. Hopefully she can. It'll be Eve Torres and her husband, her fiance, Renner Gracie, the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Torrance and Beverly Hills. She decided to take time off to do this because of an aggravated rape that happened in October of 2012 in Santa Monica. She figured it's time for us women to stand up and take care of ourselves and not be victims anymore.
Yeah. Time to kick ass, girls.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm definitely gonna do it because I can use a few new moves in my arsenal. Tombstone and everybody's not gonna help. But the class will teach you how to get out of being under an attacker, how to get out from being attacked unexpectedly, and how to get an attacker just off you. So it'll be 2 free sessions. Eve and Renner will be there Saturday to teach the class from 2 to 4. You guys can check that out on Facebook. I personally, I've called her the Hostky of Millennium because she was. They honestly made her just straight.
Yeah.
Oh, but I did my research, talked to head boss man, the Renegade, J.J. Williams, and he asked me to check this out and maybe change my opinion of her. I will probably have a better opinion of her after Saturday's class, but to have someone that high up who really is great at jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu at that, she's kick-ass at that, to be able to teach other women how to empower themselves to be protective of themselves. I figured, why not? I can stop hating on her for just a minute. Now,
she's been in WWE for about 5 years. Since the
Diva Search 07.
Of 07?
Yes, Diva Search 07. She's been there ever since then. So I figured, what the hell? Do something different, meet Eve and try this out, because I like kicking ass anyway.
I mean, true this, like, the Divas aren't even being used as wrestlers. They're being used as eye candy.
Natalya,
I'm sorry, why are you with the Khali? Okay? All he does is slap the wrestlers on their freaking chest, and then if they kick his leg, he's done for.
That's pretty much it. She's
you
with
need
Khali
to start wrestling again. Your fans want you to start wrestling again.
I do. It would be nice. Hey, Beth, when Edge is done recuperating, please come back. I'm so tired of these little girls trying to. No, I'm sick of it. Caitlin, I love you, boo-boo, but you need to go back to school. The rest of y'all can go to hell. The only one that even has a chance of doing anything now that
AJ.
Beth is gone. AJ and Tamina. Tamina needs a push. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Tamina is not the member of the Snooker family for nothing. This chick can go. Can we please have her in a decent match and get her out of those damn atom bomb freaking spandex tights? Get her something cute because she got a body from, she got a body.
Is she still Vicar Girls?
I'm not sure yet. I think they killed that storyline because it made her look too much like a dude.
Okay.
They made her, straighten out her hair. I'm like, I like the curly, wild hair, thing going on. I enjoy that. But yes, please come back. But anyway, this will be the new crew of Chicks on Wrestling. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We just want to give you guys a quick shout out. How you doing? Wax on, wax off. I am your host.
Sorry, it's like, what time is it?
I have no clue.
It is 10:07.
Whatever.
And we're already my bedtime. So.
And we're tired.
Yeah.
Disneyland wore us out. Happy birthday, Miss Natalie. We love you, boo boo. Happy birthday, girlfriend. I am Pinky. This is
Leia.
And we'll check you later. Right
Signing
here.
out.
Yeah, that.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to... Oh, I can't say that on this channel, but you may know me as Ray Larkin, the Lady Killer. I actually hosted a show called, my own show last year called, well, fuck Jeff Meacham. I've been friends with JJ and Jeff for some time, and apparently Jeff has left the channel, leaving, and we all know Jeff leaves a big void. Shout out to you, Jeff Meacham, how are you? So I've been talking with my old buddy, the Renegade, about coming back and giving a new title, a new show, a brand new look on the WWE. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to sign Season 2 of what is supposed to be what was supposed to be, fuck Jeff Meacham, a Season 2 with Casa D18 Studios. I'm hoping to... Don't unsubscribe yet. Hold on. This isn't going to be an hour of lame jokes. It's just going to be 5 minutes of me showing you guys a little bit about what I'm going to bring to you guys. I'm going to bring more of a TMZ style to, in opposed to Jeff Meacham sit-down interviews with wrestlers, or the Renegades and all his other cast members, their analysis about Raw and SmackDown and pay-per-views, everything like that. I'm going to be chasing down the wrestlers, showing you how nice they are, getting some autographs. Because quite frankly, I guess that's the best thing I can do, because I'm just sick and tired of getting trolled by you guys. So what I'm going to try to do for more ratings for this channel, to get this channel up to thousands, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, I'm going to take you on the road with me to the Royal Rumble. I'm going to take you on the road with me to Las Vegas for Monday Night Raw. I'm going to take you on the road with me down to the Staples Center for SummerSlam or Monday Night Raw, or whatever event's going on, whatever house show. I'm going to be taking you on the road where hotels, airports, all kinds of crazy places that you guys can't go to. And, well, you guys actually can go to, but you don't know what time they're going to be there. I have all my crazy cast of characters. I have the Informer. I have a bunch of nerds in masks that don't want to be seen because they're that fucking ugly. And they will be there on site with me, making jokes, entertaining you guys. Just real quick, I know I'm not going to be reviewing Raw too much, but I know you guys saw the new Monday Night Raw, the New Year's Eve drop, and I thought it was so fitting that WWE do a New Year's Eve ball drop, because if anyone knows how to drop the ball, it's WWE Creative. Zing! So I hope you guys watch the show, and I hope you guys subscribe, and I hope to get some followers coming down the stretch, and who knows, maybe I might stay for another year. Maybe this might be my first and last day. So I want you guys to check it out. It'll be coming out in roughly 2 weeks around Royal Rumble time. By that point, I'll be trying to get interviews with The Rock, CM Punk, or any other top superstar. But the next show, actually my first introductory episode on this channel, it's actually going to be an interview, a quick interview with Sheamus. Don't think it's going to be an hour-long interview. Sometimes it's just like TMZ. I ask them a question, they give you an answer. Simple as that. Lately, Stone Cold Steve Austin has been talking a lot of shit on Twitter about Sheamus. And, well, I went up to Sheamus himself and asked him, what does he think about all this Twitter feuding with Stone Cold Steve Austin? And I asked him outside of WWE corporate, so he gave an honest answer. I hope you guys enjoy it for this channel, for the Renegade of Wrestling, for all the Kara cast and crew on this show. This is the Lady Killer Ray Larkin saying, I'm back.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from NoDQ.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to yet another edition of NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. I am the owner of NoDQ, Aaron Rift. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get right down into your questions. Hey Aaron, what did you think about the Scott Hall piece that aired on ESPN? Well, first of all, if you have not seen it, you should definitely check it out. You can go to NoDQ.com or check it out on ESPN's website. My thoughts, I pretty much agree with what everyone else has already said about it. It's really sad, really depressing to watch, but it's something you need to see. And I was really shocked about the whole part of Scott Hall getting in the fight outside a bar with this guy, and then they were fighting over a gun and Hall ended up shooting and killing him. That took me by surprise, and that could explain a lot why he is the way he is, and he's just had a really fucked up life. There's not much more that can be said about it, and I wish the best for him. I hope he finds peace in his life. That's really all there is to say. What is the best live wrestling event you have ever attended? It would either have to be WrestleMania 21 or No Way Out 2008 in Las Vegas. That pay-per-view was really good. Two Elimination Chamber matches. They were both awesome. And then we had the return of Big Show coming out and starting his whole feud with Floyd Mayweather. So one of those two pay-per-views, either that or WrestleMania 21. Whose WWE debut was better, Kane or Undertaker? Well, I think I would have to go with Kane's only because I think it's remembered more and it was in a higher profile match that people remember. Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, the very first Hell in a Cell. They spent several months building up Kane, whereas Undertaker was more of a 1 month advance notice that, or actually I don't even think that, no, they were just teasing a mystery partner for Survivor Series, and it ended up being Undertaker. But with Kane, they had spent 6 months prior to the Hell in a Cell match hyping up his debut and all that. So yeah, I'd have to go with Kane's. Hey Aaron, loving the new show. Just wanted to ask, do you think WWE and pro wrestling will ever be mainstream again, or will it always be looked down upon as being silly and fake by the general public? Well, fans are getting smarter and smarter as it's different from how it was 20, 25 years ago, where WWE and WCW at the time tried to really make it seem like it was real, and they would deny that it was fake. And that whole incident with Dr. D. David Schultz and the reporter who said, "I think this is fake," and then Schultz slapped him in the face. That kind of stuff doesn't happen anymore. Most of the companies, WWE, TNA, they all recognize that it's entertainment and it's no secret anymore. They don't try to hide it. So as far as it being mainstream again, wrestling goes in cycles. That's just the way it is. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's not. But I do think wrestling will get popular again at some point. Will it get as popular as it was during the Attitude Era? That is hard to say, and it's going to be tough to get to that level again, where it was with Steve Austin and Vince McMahon and the NWO and all that. But it's hard to imagine, but I do see wrestling getting back to some kind of peak in popularity to where it's popular with the mainstream. What do you think about the DX reunion from 2006? Well, the funny thing is, at the time, I thought it was kind of lame. I thought it was like a watered-down, second-rate version of the old DX and just trying to capitalize on the past and relive the past. But compared to the 2009 reincarnation of DX, I actually think 2006 was really good. And, there were some memorable, funny moments with, Vince loves cock and dropping the crap on Vince and Spirit Squad. So there were some funny moments. I like the DX reunion overall. What was your most disappointing match? Mine would be Goldberg and Lesnar. Definitely that one in the past 10 years would be among, I think for most people, that would be their match that they would pick to be the most disappointing. For me personally, I think I would go back a little bit further. When I was a kid, one match I was really looking forward to was Shawn Michaels versus Mr. Perfect at SummerSlam 1993. And it was just such a disappointment to me, because I thought that there was no way these guys would have a boring match, and it was pretty boring. That was the match that everyone was looking forward to, and it didn't deliver. So that would be my choice right there. What do you think is more likely to happen with Big Show in the future? Do you see another championship run? Well, as they say, anything can happen in the WWE, but I think Big Show's best days are behind him now. I think he will continue to be in that upper mid-card level. He's an established veteran, so he'll always have a spot on the roster. But you never know, because with Kane, we thought that he was pretty much done for as, like a top guy, but then they put the title on him again. So it could happen, but I would bet against it. What are your thoughts on the Japanese buzzsaw Tajiri during his introduction to the company, the heel turn during the Cruiserweight division, and his tag team role on Raw? Tajiri was really good, and he was definitely a good fit for the Cruiserweight division, and he could do some funny comedy segments too. I remember with Steve Austin, that whole exchange between those two was really entertaining, and so even like to the very end, like I remember that courtroom thing with Vince McMahon and Eric Bischoff and Tajiri. I think that was his final segment before leaving. That was really funny. So he was funny and he was really good in the ring. And yeah, it'd be cool to see him back at some point, but I wouldn't bet on that happening. If you could bring back one pay-per-view name, which one would it be? I would personally bring back Cyber Sunday. Well, here's the problem with that. Cyber Sunday on paper sounds like a great idea, letting the fans get to choose the matches. The problem was it just didn't work in terms of pay-per-view buy rates. Every year, the Cyber Sunday pay-per-view was among the lowest purchased WWE pay-per-views, and I'm not sure why. I think the situation is that when you buy a pay-per-view, you want to know what you're buying. You want to know what the matches are. You don't want to buy a pay-per-view not knowing what's going to happen. Talk about it being predictable and unpredictable, but I think you at least want to know what the card is and what you're paying for and what to expect to some degree. So I think that was the problem with Cyber Sunday. As far as which pay-per-view I'd like to bring back, I've said it before, I'll say it again, King of the Ring. That pay-per-view was unique, and it was something different to look forward to every year. It was once a year, and you could use the King of the Ring like the Royal Rumble is to WrestleMania. You could use the King of the Ring to have that winner challenge the champion at SummerSlam. I just think it's a good concept, and yeah, I'd like to see them bring it back. Your thoughts on WWE using social media, like how they keep CM Punk relevant through Twitter and Facebook? I think it's a good idea for the most part. I think the problem is sometimes these guys go too far with it. The point of like Twitter is to promote yourself. But when these guys start going on Twitter and saying embarrassing things, you know, we've seen the whole deal with Matt Hardy and some of these other guys, even Hulk Hogan, going on Twitter, and just Kurt Angle going on there and just making fools of themselves. And they end up looking really bad, and they need a PR. Some of these guys need a PR guy to run their Twitter account. So, you know, the right information gets out there and not the wrong information. That's just my opinion. What do you think about some of WWE's old school matches, such as the infamous Kennel for Hell, the pretty cool Lion's Den, and the ridiculous Punjabi Prison? Well, those matches were entertaining in a campy way. I remember the Kennel for Hell. I think like the dogs were barking the whole time and crapping outside the ring. It was such a disaster, but it was so bad it was entertaining. Lion's Den was okay for something for Ken Shamrock, but I remember that one time where Vince McMahon made Shamrock tap out, so to speak. I think there was outside interference from like Steve Blackman or something, but Vince McMahon able to say he beat Ken Shamrock in a Lion's Den match. That was ridiculous. And you had the Punjabi Prison, although I remember there was one match where Batista jumped from one end to the other, and it was pretty cool. So if WWE ever does like a worst of DVD set, which I think they should, just for entertainment value, you know, all those matches would be great to throw on there. I think they should do it. Scenario. TNA gets bought by WWE. How would they announce it? Would they do a Rise and Fall title DVD? In my opinion, Vince would come out at the Impact Arena and say he lost control of WWE. He bought TNA instead. That's not going to happen. It's not like WCW. WWE does not see TNA as any kind of serious competition. Whereas with WCW, it was serious competition. If WWE was to purchase TNA, I think they would just make an announcement of it, just, you know, randomly on TV, and maybe do a DVD. What would it be called? Rise? It would have to just be called the something and fall of TNA. I don't know. Definitely, there was not much of a Rise to talk about. No offense to the TNA people. So yeah, there wouldn't be much to it. It's not going to be anything like WCW. That's for sure. All right, that about does it for NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. Thanks again for checking out the show. As always, you can leave a comment at youtube.com/NoDQCAW. We have Vengeance coming up this weekend. You can check out the coverage at NoDQ.com. Who do you think is going to win the WWE title match, the last man standing match? John Cena or Alberto Del Rio? Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the stat boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Story Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa D18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show. The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
Hello, my internet fans. We're here again with another episode of my show, The Stat Boy Rants. That's me. This is number 52. We're getting up there. Lots to talk about. Lots to do, apparently. Something special at the end. Now, let's get the usual stuff, which is the Raw report. And the build-up to Raw's 1000th show is getting better and better. I did not talk about Vader, who came back 2 weeks ago, because, you know, it just didn't really matter to me until I kind of heard on the boards and in the comments, why didn't you talk about Vader? For those of you youngins who don't know who Big Van Vader is, you have to go back to WCW from yes?
Is he in relation to Darth Vader?
No.
But we're supposed to be quiet on set, right?
Yeah, I raised my hand.
Dork.
Vader, basically, his career started in Japan. And in fact, that's where good old Mick lost part of his ear, if not all of his ear. In fact, he should get that thing fixed somehow. There's technologies that can make it hear. He can still hear out of it, I think, but he needs to get that fixed. But the majority of Vader's career, minus the Japan stuff, was in WCW. And of course, he had epic battles with Sting over the WCW Championship, which he won 3 times. He continued his feud with Cactus Jack in WCW. He was just a big monster, you know. He was Harley Race was his manager. At one point, he even came out with this big old mastodon mammoth type headgear. It kind of looked like it went from the top of his head to the middle of his chest, like the bust of a mammoth head, or mammoth mastodon, same thing almost. And it's like he would come out and take that off, and of course he had the usual red mask that he would wear, and he also teamed up with Sid. They were the masters of the power bomb. And of course, if you were watching Are You Serious a couple weeks ago, they actually showed a clip of him and Sid and Colonel Parker on the beach with Sting and Bulldog and the kids. It's like they would they were ruining the beach party and all that. Vader did, of course, come into WWE around the time of the 96 Rumble. He had a mini feud with Shawn Michaels. He had a mini feud with The Undertaker. And that was pretty much it. He teamed up with Sid again, but like his WWE career really didn't go anywhere. He didn't really hold it. He didn't hold any titles. You know, the man they call Vader. That's all he was. He'd come to the ring, you know, that the red and black lights would flicker on him, and that was pretty much it. He had a great spot on Boy Meets World. He played the father to one of Ben Savage's classmates in, I think it was another 1 or 2 episodes, but it was still funny. And he ended his WWE career on a bad note. In fact, I think it was one of the very few instances where he swore on live television. And then after that, he was pretty much done. And then he just comes back for a match against Heath Slater. Welcome back, Vader. One night only, though, unfortunately. So. Then the week after that, Cyndi Lauper and Wendy Richter come back. And Wendy Richter was in WWE, WWF, 1983 to 1985. She was the one that unseated Fabulous Moolah as the champion, as women's champion. 1984, you know. Started the whole rock and wrestling connection. She was even featured in the god-awful Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling cartoon show, which didn't even have Hulk Hogan as his own character's voice. That went to Brad Garrett. Brad Garrett was Hulk Hogan's character voice. It was a good little cartoon, but not really going anywhere. And sadly, her WWE career ended with the original screw job. The story behind that was Wendy was champion. It was about 1984, 1985. And she was having contract issues with Vince McMahon. Can't confirm if it's junior or senior. My guess is it's senior. Not totally certain. Don't quote me on that. But one of the McMahons. We'll leave it at that. And so she's in Madison Square Garden up against an unknown called the Spider Lady. And thanks to a fast count and even a kick out, the Spider Lady beats Wendy Richter, and she takes off the mask. Lo and behold, there's Fabulous Moolah under the mask. Well, Moolah's got the belt. Wendy gets pissed off. Starts to attack Moolah. Backstage, Richter is severely pissed off. She packs her bags, gets the next flight out of New York, and she's done. She wants nothing more to do with WWE. She did have an indie career, mostly Jersey, independent stuff, Puerto Rico, stuff down there. There was even reports that she was very disappointed with the way the divas were being treated and portrayed. But bygones be bygones. She's in the Hall of Fame, and she decided to come back last week with Roddy Piper in the ring. And if you guys don't know the history on Piper, then do your homework on that one. I've said before that Piper is kind of like my inspiration, because he says stuff that, you know, when you think you have all the answers, he goes and changes the questions. That's what Piper did, man. Piper was the original pipe bomb. How about that? Let's go back there. I mean, he did things that people wouldn't even dream of. Look at Ric Flair's induction speech of Piper. He goes, you know, one day I'm down in Puerto Rico, and lo and behold, somebody brings a knife to the ring, and they start going after Roddy, and guess what happened? Roddy got stabbed. They go, Roddy, what the hell are you doing? Oh, he'll draw money. He'll be back next week. I mean, come on. You know? Piper was the original Punk and the original Stone Cold. Let's not forget about him, because he would give Vince a big ol' fuck you. And Vince would like it. And he's been married for over 22 years. Piper was one of the people that didn't really need a title. Yeah, he got the belt at WrestleMania 8. Did he really need it? No. But, well, he defended it at WrestleMania 8. He won it prior to that, but, you know, his mic skills outweighed the title. His mic skills beat Hogan any chance he got. Hogan was so thrown into everybody on t-shirts and lunchboxes and cartoon shows and wrestling matches. That gave Piper legitimate beef. I mean, yeah, okay, when he came back in the late 2000s or whatever, yeah, he got a tag title with Ric Flair, but did he really need it? No. You see? Piper is Stat Boy approved, without a doubt. And I gotta thank Piper, because if it wasn't for Piper, I wouldn't be on this channel right now, because you don't know what I'm gonna do, you don't know what I'm gonna say, you know. The week after that, a WWE superstar who hasn't made an appearance in 15 years came back, but out comes Heath Slater again. I mean, what is this? Feed Slater to the legends? Is that how you're going to make your career? Really? And of course, out comes Psycho Sid. Or you can call him Sid, or you can call him Sid Vicious, or if you really want to go back, you call him Sid Justice. That's how he made his debut in WWE. He did start his career in WCW for 2 years, 1989 and 1991. He was the special guest referee at SummerSlam, which was the handicap match, the 2-on-3 match. And he got to do the pose down with Hogan, which I think that's every Hogan fan, you know, who wouldn't want to be in the ring in that era? I mean, not now. I don't know if there are fans now. If there are, you know, if you want to get in the ring and do the pose down with Hulk Hogan, go for it. But it's like, that's how he got it in the business. He got started. And then everything started to go bad, meaning he started to turn heel a year later. The 92 Rumble. Technically, he was one of the last two people. It was down between him and Flair. Because Sid had already eliminated Savage. If you remember the 92 Rumble. Flair and Hogan were going at it. Sid comes up and takes out Hogan. Now, instead of worrying about Flair and going after the title, Hogan starts, you can't do that to me, I'm Hulk Hogan. Hogan grabs Sid. Flair comes by with the assist and gets the belt. Then we have a press conference as to who is going after the title. Who's going to challenge Flair at WrestleMania for the belt? And this was Jack Tunney in the middle. You've got Hogan, Undertaker, Piper, Savage, and Sid. All of them had legitimate beef as to who should be the champion. Sid being the most outspoken one, when Jack Tunney says that the person who will be getting the title shot, Sid stands up from his chair and Hulk Hogan gets announced. And Sid starts to go psycho. He gets angry. But in his matches, he starts powerbombing the Ham and Eggers, as Bobby Heenan would call them. left and right, injuring them, putting them on stretchers, and just when you think he was done, he would do it again. So instead of Hogan getting the title shot at WrestleMania 8, of course it went to Savage. Hogan ended up fighting Sid at WrestleMania. And then after that, Sid left. Reason being, he failed the drug test back in 1992. He was allowed to go on tour. There was a European tour after WrestleMania, and then he was gone. He did go back to WCW for a bit, but thanks to a backstage scissor incident with Arn Anderson in 1995, or 1994, 1993, somewhere in there, he was gone again. It was 1993. I jumped ahead of myself. He comes back in 1995 to WWE. He's teamed up with Shawn Michaels. And we get the whole WrestleMania 11 match with Diesel. And, you know, Shawn gets to turn face because Sid powerbombs Shawn. That starts a feud with Diesel. Who has the better powerbomb, Diesel or Sid? And I would have gone with Sid because he was a little more muscular. He could put you through the mat. He also joins the $1 Million Corporation, but doesn't go anywhere until 1996 when he goes for the title, which he wins the title. But unfortunately, he loses the title to Taker at WrestleMania 13. After that, he's gone again. The title did go back and forth between Shawn and Sid, Survivor Series, Rumble, San Antonio, all that. He did get it back in the four-way match in 96, 97, when Brett got screwed out of a one-day title run, which never should have happened. And then he lost it at WrestleMania. Boy, I'm just going all over the place. And of course, after losing the belt to Taker, he leaves again. Goes back to WCW. And then sadly, January 14th, 2001, snaps his leg in half. Has a 13-inch rod put in his leg. Made a few Indy appearances. Comes back to promote Raw 1000. And I kind of looked at him, it's like, okay, yeah, he's older. He's still got a little bit of muscle left. But it just wasn't this. I made the comment that he didn't look well. I was surprised that he actually is wrestling with a huge old rod in his leg. And you know, who's coming back next? You never know who they're going to dust off. Or who would you like to see come back? You know? Put some comments in there. Who do you guys want to see? Raw has three or four shows left. Who do you guys want to see come back? We know Taker's probably going to make an appearance, but let's face it, the Taker is nowhere near done. You can't have... I want to see JR come back. Now, as far as the show itself, the funny part of the show was John Cena's Star Wars promo, to where John Cena broke kayfabe a little bit when he did his impression of Yoda saying, "No chance in hell you have." He just started busting out laughing. "Fired you are," and all that. That was one of the... I don't know if that whole thing was scripted or off the top of his head or he planned it or whatever. But see, that's the Cena I like. I like the funny Cena that makes us all laugh. And of course, the big announcement temporarily got distracted by Chris Jericho, who had come back from his European tour. Why didn't he do a tour in the US? I don't know. And now, for Money in the Bank, 4 men only. Yeah. When we heard that at Casa D18, we're like, Money in the Bank is to be for the lower class superstars to make a push for themselves. Your Dolphs, your Zacks, your Codys. Big name people like Cena and Show, if they can do something new with the ladder, go ahead and do it. But it will greatly cheapen Money in the Bank, I think, if John Cena wins it. I would rather see John Cena go for the title on his own than have to use a contract loophole to get the belt back. That's my thought on that. The Divas Battle Royal with AJ winning was a bit of a surprise. I would have liked to have seen Layla win. I don't know if it was maybe a last minute call or not. But, and Vicky surprised us all. Now, Vicky Guerrero has a bikini body. We've seen it before. She's talked about it. So, you know, why are you wearing one pieces, Vicky? Come on. If you want to play up the cougar part, then go two piece. We've also found out that AJ is going to be the special guest referee at Money in the Bank in a match, in the title match actually, with Punk and Daniel Bryan. Now, look for her to take some kind of ref bump, and she's not gonna. I mean, no, this is kind of dumb. She's probably gonna just let them battle each other, and she's not. I don't know how she can be a referee, honestly. She should just be staying to the crazy gimmick and stuff. Brodus Clay got knocked out, but let's face it, we're all waiting on that one. Because it's like he's working the knee injury thing, so if he absolutely needs to go get it fixed, then this is his out. You know, he's been doing okay. He finally lost, which was not a bit of a surprise, because he was basically squashing everybody. There was no real challenge until Big Show came along. So you just put two people up, put two big guys against each other, and the bigger man literally won that. So, Money in the Bank is coming up in about 3 weeks. Our prediction show is going to be coming up. We'll watch for that. And as far as the wrestling part, we're done. Now, okay, one more wrestling thing I get to do before I continue on. I am going to choose the next book for the Book of the Month Club. I am honored and privileged to do this. The next book that Casa D18 and the fans of this will be Eddie's book. Eddie Guerrero's book. All right. There it is. There's the proof right there. Eddie's book. Okay? There you go. Eddie's book. Very good. See? Okay. I did not look in the pot there at all. Now, the other topic I want to talk about is sports related, and that would be the instant replays, more in baseball. One, there isn't one. Basically, a game happened earlier this week with the Yankees and the Indians. The batter from Cleveland, Mr. Jack Hannanen, hits a ball in left field, and the outfielder, Dwayne Wise, goes to catch it, and he ends up flipping over in the stands, and the ball hits the glove and trickles out and down the front row. The umpire calls him out. There are two fans right at the edge of the row. One gentleman's in a red shirt, one gentleman's in a striped shirt. The gentleman in the red shirt bends over and picks up the ball. The cameras catch this, but the umpires and two police officers that are in the stadium are more focused on the player bringing him back out of the stands. And Dwayne Wise then puts his hand in the glove and he starts trotting back on the field. And the out is out. He's out. But the commentators and the camera show otherwise. So the batter eventually goes up to the umpire, and he had seen a replay. But because there's no official replay rule, it can't be overturned. It's like whatever the umpire says goes. The umpire's ruling stands no matter what. And he gets thrown out of the game. He didn't even swear at the umpire. He was just, that was a wrong call. You made a mistake, whatever. Eventually, the umpire admits his mistake. Now, here's my thing. And the Yankees end up winning the game, by the way, too. So it won't really matter if the call was reversed, because it would have been a foul ball and he would have gotten another shot and possibly won the game. We don't know. But here's the thing. In football, of course, a coach can challenge a play. The referee goes over to his little stand and whatever. In hockey, and let me turn to you on this one, Jeff, since you know more about hockey than I do. How often do calls get reviewed on instant replay?
Only goals.
Only goals.
Only goals.
No hits, no checks, nothing.
Nope.
Okay, that's an issue there.
The call is made on the ice, the penalty is assessed. If it's a misconduct, so be it, whatever, so be it. Then, either after or during, they go to Toronto to assess how dirty or clean whatever the hit was, and then fines, suspensions, etc. are laid down after that. But at the moment of impact, it's either a 2, a 5, a 10, a game, etc. And then later on, they go back and go, okay, how big of a dick was this guy actually being? To see if they lay down more than one suspension, you get a suspension longer than just the game misconduct, or fines, or whatever.
And then goals are
every goal is reviewed in Toronto. Every single goal, whether it's a question or not. They don't actually sit there and take the time to review it, but if there is a question later on, Toronto will call and be like, it wasn't a goal, take that one back.
Hey there, I just learned something about that.
And if I'm wrong, tell me on there on YouTube. I'm sure y'all love doing that.
I think you're right. That sounded pretty intelligent that the fans will figure that one out.
Yeah.
In basketball, I don't think there's... The replays in basketball are more like for show. It's like, oh, that was great, let's see that again. Oh, they don't really check to see if the player's foot is on the line or if he's out of bounds or whatnot. You don't really get too many bad calls in basketball. And of course now in baseball, it's like if a ball is on the line, you can see the chalk mark. If a ball is catched and dropped, you check the replay. There has to be distinct proof that a play is called correctly. That way you don't have a giant backlash from fans. You don't have players complaining and getting fined for showing their opinions. And you just got to get it right. Now, of course, in football, if the coach makes the challenge and the challenge ends up against them, they end up losing a timeout or whatever. What can be done about baseball if the call doesn't go their way? Do they lose? Do they lose an extra out or something? Or it's like instead of 3 outs now you have 2, or you give up a run or something? I mean, what can you do to a coach if they're wasting time. Because baseball is a slow game. Especially if you're sitting in the sun for 3 hours, which is how I got my arms burned. Let me get some comments on this. I mean, what should baseball do with their replay? Should they have it? Should they, because you can't go back in time and give the win to the team. You can't do that. So let me know what you think about that one. All right? So this has been a long episode, so I think we should just cut it after that. And guess what? Jay didn't sneeze. Woohoo! Yay! Jay didn't sneeze. Keep those comments coming. Follow me on Twitter at LBStatKid1977. I got a couple stories to tell about that, but I can always say that for later. Send those comments to the YouTube page or the Boy Rants page on Facebook. I'm over 100 likes finally. It took me a long time to do that. For now, good night. See you next week. Statboy out.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Gary Hebert, the man, the myth, the legend. I was amazed, and I was looking to become a better skater myself, and I wanted to be like Gary.
When you look at a guy like this, he's one of the most talented people in his profession. He's been given gifts by God.
It can get frustrating at times when you're trying things that, that maybe don't come as quickly to you as other things. And, you never really felt that sense of frustration with Gary. It was always about improvement and positive reinforcement.
Was it really the end? Was that head injury really the end? God has called Gary to continue to be a blessing to others and to be a passionate example.
My name is Gary Hebert, and this is the World Academy of Hockey, otherwise known as the Inside Edge.
I would recommend anybody that have a chance to come to his hockey school. I think it'd be well worth it. It'd be rewarding to all the kids and anyone he coaches, from whether it's an adult, a professional player, to a little kid like a mite or a squirt.
Gary, from day one, has been instrumental to my hockey career. I started out as a potential Division III player, and Gary brought me single-handedly through high school and into a top Division I prospect. I owe it all to Gary, the biggest legend on and off ice there's ever been.
Listen, watch, learn, be confident, and have faith. Those are the answers I was brought to. Yet, I only now am really learning how truly important those 5 things are.
Through preparation, through appropriate thoughtfulness and thinking, we can learn to untie the typical knots between our ears that drive us into underachievement and underperformance. And lo and behold, we can learn, I think, to fulfill our God-given potentials.
Gary has the innate ability to make people not only better players, but better people. The life lessons they learn from Gary are incredible.
I can always remember leaving that rink knowing as a player I got better, or I had something to improve on to get better. And I think that's what you excelled on as a coach, is giving us the knowledge to know what we needed to do to get better.
There's coaches who know the game, but can you communicate and create passion in your kids and in your players? And Gary's able to do that.
Gary's got great knowledge and the great hands, but more importantly, his ability to connect with people and care for them. His communication skills, to me, really stand out and separate him, and that's why he's one of the best, in the world.
Gary's a legend. He's a special, special man.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
This is James Morgan, NWA and Mach 1 Wrestling Superstar.
This is Chris Masters, the Masterpiece. This is Downtown Bruno. This is Eric Watts from WWE Tough Enough.
I'm Nova.
Hey, what's up? This your boy, Sean Black.
This is Jess Bella from Santino Brothers.
Gorgeous Joey Chaos.
Yo, monkeys, it's me, DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, and you are watching Dads on Wrestling. The Dads on Wrestling.
Dads on Wrestling.
Dads on Wrestling.
On YouTube.
This week on YouTube.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. Now stay tuned or you will feel the bang.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this installment of Dads on Wrestling. I am one of your hosts, the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams.
And I am Jeff Meacham, and I'm wearing my Santa hat despite what the Renegade says. I don't give a damn. This hat's going to be on every show I'm on except for After the Bell, because I forgot to wear it for those shows. Do we have enough canned? Are we good now, or I forgot?
We haven't even canned anymore.
All right, good. Santa hat on that show, too. Until I find my real Santa hat at my mom's house, which will be this weekend. Deal with this.
Actually, by the time this goes up, you'll have been back from your mom's house.
Oh, is that right? Okay, well then it'll be on the next one. How about that?
I think the medication's getting to you.
It is. The stupid, what is it called? Icy Hot. My back went out today. The Icy Hot's all over my back. It smells in here. We're stretching out because we have a very interesting topic, but I'm not really sure how to approach this except just full-on blunt force trauma.
Yeah, I mean, because this topic was originally suggested to be an RSI topic,
yes.
A Ringside Insanity, for those that aren't in the know.
I don't know the lingo or the channel.
But considering RSI is a top 10 format, we didn't feel that it fit with the format of the show, so we decided to turn it into a dad's topic.
Right.
And that is, the question was, and I'm paraphrasing here, essentially, what do we think on the effect that the internet has had on wrestling?
Well, you can start right out by saying that, we wouldn't get recognized everywhere we go weren't for the internet.
This is also
so, but I think the main thing is that it has changed the industry by leaps and bounds. Internet, before there was internet and spoilers and things like that, there wouldn't be, Monday Night Wars getting nasty and dirty by Tony Schiavone saying Mick Foley's going to win the WWF Championship on Raw and having 750,000 people, whatever the hell it was that night, change channel from Nitro to Raw, and essentially what was supposed to be a great night for Nitro in the ratings, they tanked. And what was even worse is people switched back after Foley's win, because Nitro went over, as it always does, so that meant people were interested in the title change, even though it was the finger poke of doom, as it turned out. People wanted to see that match, but they wanted to see Mick Foley more.
Yeah.
So Bischoff, in his infinite stupidity at that time, and Schiavone, the message man, if you will, the hitman, blew it for WCW. Stuff like that. You've got, you have shows like ours. You have shows like I've done for frickin' 9 years now. Mm-hmm. My God. I'm getting old. 9 years of this shit. There's things like that. There's, stuff like, you had... you've been doing shows now for almost a year with me, and you did the Hardy Conversation, and it
lasted for a couple of months.
But the influence on the internet is people were able to come together in a way they never had before, as far as the fans go.
Yeah, for the good and the bad. I mean, like you said, spoilers. I think spoilers is the biggest thing as far as the internet goes, because spoilers have killed ratings.
Definitely. Oh,
Big
my God.
time. I mean, now you can look at a report on Tuesday night or first thing Wednesday morning and decide if you want to watch Friday night's show.
Or even Impact.
Or back then Thursday night's show.
Or even Impact if it's taped that
Impact
week.
now.
They tape like, what, 4 Impacts in 2 days?
Yeah.
That gives Spike a whole month off of one of their number 1 rated shows not getting the proper ratings. I can't think it doesn't piss Spike off.
Yeah.
I can't think that.
Then there's things like suspensions.
Yeah.
You know, recently Ron Killings, R-Truth, was suspended. Prior to that, Evan Bourne.
Well, that in and of itself is interesting because on the report, online of course, we learned that the sources say, and this is all sources say, from hearsay, sources say, that Evan and Ron failed at the same time. But because Ron was in the main event of Survivor Series, can't have that guy go away. Right. If it had been me, I'd have had, and this is just me, I'd had Ron get hurt, and then have Miz build the story, and then Ron come in on Sunday. And then he has back for 1 day, no pay, and then back on suspension until suspension's up. I think Evans is up next week.
Should be,
next week. So it essentially been 4 weeks, 30 days, but back for 1 day.
Yeah.
And honestly, this whole thing with, spoilers about the suspensions being out there, which we never knew about before, even if there was people suspended.
Because there was no wellness policy.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, anytime anybody got seriously busted, like, for example, Duggan and Iron Sheik in 88. They both got busted, or 87, whatever it was. They were feuding at the time. They got busted in the same car for the cocaine. We didn't know that until much later.
Yeah.
Except when Vince opened his big mouth. But, the whole thing with suspensions now is, and correct me if I'm wrong out there in internet land,
or Stat Boy behind the camera.
Or Stat Boy behind the camera. No. It's not even a question. It's more of an opinion, I guess.
Okay.
Kofi and Evan are the tag team champions.
Yes.
Evan was announced suspension the day after they faced Wade and Cody, I believe.
Yes.
Shouldn't have Wade and Cody won the titles that night?
Should have.
And granted, Wade and Cody
at the very least, if the test had not come back positive by the time their match came, they should have been trotted out on SmackDown the next night and dropped the belts to somebody then.
Yep. And honestly, we didn't think Wade and Cody were a big deal team at the time of the non-title victory. They won Survivor Series.
Right. They were
the survivors of that team. They are a big deal now, especially Wade with his Barrett Barrage and Cody with his lack of mass now. They should be tag team champions right
Personally, I still think that Air Boom should have dropped the belts to Awesome Truth at the pay-per-view, and then Awesome Truth versus Cena Rock at Survivor Series should have been for the straps.
That would have been bad only because Cena Rock would have won the titles, and I did not want that at all. Because granted, Cena wins the title with every feud he has, but
made The Rock have to stick around and defend him.
Another reason why I didn't want it to happen.
At the very least, he would have had to show up at TLC to defend him.
Maybe. But anyway,
consider from Survivor Series to Mania,
you've
only got, for lack of a better term, 2 throwaway pay-per-views.
And then plus
TLC and the Chamber.
Plus Rumble, yeah.
You can't even call it the Chamber a throwaway anymore because usually one of those matches is a title defense and the other one is for number 1 contendership.
Or both are one, right, yeah. But we're off topic.
Yeah.
Anyway. But online, again, the internet has changed everything.
Deaths in wrestling.
Yes.
I mean, I posed this question to Jeff a couple weeks ago when we did the big old Eddie Guerrero tribute on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anybody in that arena that did not know Eddie had passed until Vince and the troops, if you will, lined up on that ramp and Vince's mouth opened and started paying tribute to Eddie Guerrero?
Well, you got to remember, people that don't have the internet or even do, their friends do. If you have the internet, you have a friend that does in this world. It's just the way it is, unless you're out in Upper Slovenia somewhere and don't have TV or internet. But even the people that don't have internet have friends that do. And there was a press conference early that morning with Vince and Chavo. We knew then, and we saw the thing on WWE.com. I found out when I woke up that morning. Chris Benoit, I found out at work. I got 2 separate texts. One from Rift, and one from my cast leader from Rocky Horror, who doesn't even watch wrestling anymore. Didn't watch wrestling back then 4 years ago.
Chris Candido.
Chris. Oh, God, Chris, yeah.
Can't really say Owen because either you saw it happen or it was all over the news right
Seriously,
afterwards.
that was
there
on
was no time
yeah.
for internet, and internet hadn't really blown up big yet.
No.
I mean, it was starting to come around back in '99,
right?
But it hadn't hit the masses like it is today, where you can get it on your fucking phones.
That's right, except for me. My phone won't let me hit it anymore.
But
yeah, you know, Owen was a great example of the pre-internet days. Although WWF.com and AOL on WWF on AOL back then was still really hot. You know, I mean, I remember WWF magazine like '96 when Sonny was most downloadable on AOL. You know, that's early as '96. So even 15 years ago, we talked about The Rock 15 years ago as far as '96. Even before that, there was an internet presence, and both companies were starting to really stick the feelers out there. And when Shane McMahon took over .com, that was it. Director of Digital Media, he was all over that. The website is Shane's legacy, for lack of a better term. You can talk about the matches at WrestleMania, you can talk about the matches on other pay-per-views. The website is Shane's legacy. And now with Michael Cole taking over from him, and then Joey Styles taking over from Michael Cole. You know, Joey Styles is getting longevity in this business. He's a great announcer, but he doesn't want to be on the road anymore. He's got a job. Michael Cole didn't want to be a full-time announcer back then. He had a job. Now he's on Raw. SmackDown. And thumbs down, exactly.
Hashtag not Statboy approved.
Definitely. Yikes. But the internet, like I said, the internet and wrestling has changed my life.
It's changed all of our lives.
Mostly for the better for me. There have been times where, had some serious drama and bullshit, but were it not for the internet and wrestling on the internet, I would not be, the famous Jeff Meacham, as SoCal Val said. I wouldn't have this longevity. I'm not trying to have an ego, that's why I did it like this. Sheesh. We wouldn't be able to do these shows 1, 2, 3, 10, whatever the shows a week.
Yeah, right.
Wouldn't be able to, do stuff like that.
It only seems like 10 when you have freaking epic rants from Statboy going up. 5 days.
By the way, tomorrow, there should be more coming, I'm sure. Whatever it is. I don't even know what day it is. I have no idea what day I'm taping this show. I'm so tired.
I'm going to say.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
You're writing checks you can't cash.
I know. Yes?
November 22nd, 2011.
Thank you. That's when we're taping this.
That's not when this is going up.
Well, we're taping this on the 22nd of November.
Today is a very important day, Jeff Meacham.
I know it is. That's right, but it's not too soon.
You like what I did there?
Inside joke.
Wow, really?
God damn.
Really?
I just remembered.
God damn it!
Hash Boy, Stat Boy approved.
Hash Boy? Hash Boy.
Hash Boy.
No, that's Ron and Evan. Hashtag, Mikey.
Hashtag Stat Boy approved to the nth level.
God.
But anyways.
But yeah, you're right. We wouldn't know stuff like suspensions. We wouldn't know stuff like drug test failures. We wouldn't know stuff like anything. We wouldn't live in an age where people are I see your shirt. People are debating the worth of the new Star Wars saga releases because Darth Vader has new voice edits. We wouldn't be talking about shit like that. There was no internet. People wouldn't care. George Lucas wouldn't be getting hate mail because they wouldn't. He would. It would
just be mailed to Skywalker Ranch.
Yeah, it'd be snail mail, but it wouldn't be. We wouldn't know about it. So, stuff like that. We wouldn't have, people...
Things like iTunes wouldn't be popular where you can download
the wrestling songs. Yeah, people
would still have to go to stores and buy WWE The Music Volume 27.
Yeah, WWE, it's even said, has been phasing out the albums. And they're encouraging people to download them off iTunes now. One song at a time.
Yeah, for $1 a song.
This is bullshit.
It's not a good look, Granddad. Not a good look on my wallet.
No. Fail.
Santa Vinnie Mac gonna pay what he owe.
Yeah, and then you wouldn't have people tweeting me to sign a petition to encourage Triple H and Vince McMahon to go on Twitter. Like, does the Triple H and Vince McMahon really have time to fucking tweet? They're running a company here.
I don't think they want to go on Twitter because I don't think they're going to like what people are saying.
No, they're not. As much as I dislike the son of a bitch, they're going to let Johnny Ace take the fall for that and let him get nasty tweets. Him and Michael Cole. So
until the point where
5,000 tweet followers on Twitter.
To the point where he ends up like his own shirt in his future endeavor.
Right? I will not be getting that shirt, by the way. I know you want it.
That shirt is fucking epic. Every time we have to come to the people, thanks to the internet, and talk about somebody that's been released from the company, can just bust out the Future Endeavor shirt.
I will only wear that shirt if I have a jacket on, so you have to see the crap on the back.
Well, our back is towards the doors to Narnia, so no one can see it anyways.
Well, Aslan can see it. He has eyes through the wall, dude. I don't lie and be all ashamed of me being in front of his crib. That's wrong. Aslan's the homie. There's a poster on the wall in the other room and everything, man. Aslan's the business. Damn. Oh, that picture's much better than Aslan.
That's right.
Anyway, god damn, I'm going to hell.
Has the show gone buttfucky yet?
I don't know. Jay's not here to officially announce it, but I would say so. But yeah, internet, again, what can you say? Internet has changed everything. Internet is such that the WWF is no longer the WWF.
This is true.
Because the World Wrestling Federation decided to break the agreement with the World Wildlife Fund and establish a worldwide copyright with WWF.com. And the Panda people went, oh, no, and sued Vince and won. So now we have WWE for the last 10 years. It'll be 10 years next year, May of next year.
Can't fucking believe it's been
10 years since WWE. Well, you know, we can't believe it's been 10 years since 9/11. Can't believe it's been 10 years since WCW went under, or ECW. You know, it's just everything goes. The internet age moves faster than in any age in history of wrestling.
If it wasn't for the internet, we wouldn't have to stay away from Facebook and Twitter at 6 o'clock on Monday night, so we don't end up with the entire spoilers.
Or all day Tuesday.
We get to see the show at 9 o'clock.
Exactly, which is bullshit.
But anyway,
to our friends out there, by the way, that decide, and I'm gonna throw some people under the bus right now. All right, here we go. Molly.
Let me exit the side here. Get you just one.
Molly, Sandy, all y'all that watch the show on satellite, get off the goddamn Facebook. Get off the goddamn Twitter. We watch it at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time now, because the lights fucking went an hour earlier. Don't be going on Facebook and Twitter. You're blowing the show for me, and you're blowing the show for Jay. We want to work. We have work to do on Facebook and Twitter. Get off it. Thank you. And the rest of y'all, I couldn't remember names. Sorry, Molly and Sandy, but y'all just off the top of my head.
But Sandy, we still love you.
We still love you. Sandy ruined part of the show for me last night. That's why I was going to say. She ruined like the end of it, whatever it was. I was like, I'm sorry.
But anyways, let us know what you guys think. Post some comments in the comment box about what you think the effect of the internet has been.
We think you all rambled too much on this goddamn episode.
We hope you all had a good Thanksgiving.
And a safe Black Friday.
Yes, we hope you had a safe Black Friday. You didn't get trampled on or stampeded.
And if you did,
going up after, don't forget.
That's what I said. And if you did, we can't pay your medical bill. Sorry, because that's expensive.
And we just want to get out a couple of cheap plugs here while we can. Feel like the Generation X here.
Cheap plug time.
December 10th, Long Beach Clothing Company, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Wild Warriors autograph signing. Wild World Champion Winter, Wild North American Champion Tara Calloway, Wild Warrior Shelly Martinez, formerly Ariel in WWE/ECW, and Salinas in TNA. Followed by that night at 6 p.m. Bell Time, Epic War Show, featuring New Jack, Winter versus Tara Calloway, Eric Cross versus Jarek Matthews, Hardcore Kid Aaron Aguilera, formerly Jesus, and a bunch of other great local indie talent.
I'm pretty sure Cordova and Strife are having another match, or like a rematch from the Iron Man or something like that. I gotta look it up.
And then be on the lookout all month of December on the channel. We are going to try. We have 11 lined up already in one can. We're going to try to feature 31 days of interviews.
December
31 days of brand spanking new interviews with big time and local talent. We've already got confirmations from Eric Watts, Ray Rosas, the Fabulous Thunder Kitty, Lucky O'Shea. We're more than likely, haven't got it guaranteed yet, but we're more than likely getting Winter and Shelly Martinez also. So be on the lookout for those. If it's a Diva/Knockout/Woman of Wrestling, it'll be Ringside Insanity. And if it's a Superstar, then it'll either be After the Bell, it'll be Renegade of Wrestling, or it'll be a Dad's on Wrestling. Statboy is in the back begging. Depends if Statboy can get to the shows that we're going to be doing the stuff at.
Yes, yes.
If he's able to be there, then maybe he'll be able to score an interview.
That boy's got real work. He has real life.
That's right. He's got a kayfabe job.
That's right. He's got a kayfabe job.
He's working at the House of Mouse.
And we love him for it.
That's right, because he gets to bring our kids cool presents like you, Santa Claus.
That's right.
So, until next time...
Damn. Go ahead.
Until next time, we are the Dads on Wrestling, and we will see you around.
Bye-bye.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from NoDQ.com.
Welcome back, NoDQ Galaxy, to a brand new NoDQ review. We're on number 52, and I am Virtue, being joined by Aaron Rift, TJS, and Big South Park G. What's up, Big G?
Not much. Just another evening, ready to discuss some more wrestling with the elite team of NoDQ Review. And TJS, how are you doing, buddy?
I was working on some C# homework before I came on, and I have a huge migraine. Just like, I have double the migraine. WWE gave me one tonight with their booking. But hopefully this will remedy it. We get to do some ranting. I'm looking forward to that. How you going? How's it going, Aaron?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And I'm just wondering, should I start shortening your guys' names? Big G, your name's already short as it is. I guess we could just call you G now. TGS, you could just be T. And Virtue, you can just be Virch.
What are you going to be, Braun now?
Sure.
Ron Rift. I don't know.
Well, as we're doing this, I get a private message from Josh Mansfield saying, where are my 2 shirts? Because Kofi is going to WrestleMania to wrestle Daniel Bryan one-on-one. So, Josh, if you're watching this, you will not get him until after Mania because card subject to change. Kofi could get hurt. So, anyway, let's just kick off with that. We finally have the fallout for the WWE title match at WrestleMania after weeks and weeks and weeks of Kofi Mania and all the different swerves by Vince McMahon. It finally happened, and Kofi Kingston, because of his New Day brethren, however you say that, won him his spot. I just think that was convoluted. Aaron, looking back at all of this, I think you were right. Kofi should have just won the title at Elimination Chamber during Black History Month, and Bryan should have challenged him back for it. Because I don't like the path this took. What's your take on this now that it's official? And we knew it was official because of the leak.
Right. Well, yeah, that's one thing. I feel like it could have been done better. Definitely could have been done better. I think that it might still mean something to people if Kofi wins the title at WrestleMania, but how much is it really going to mean in the middle of the show, 4 hours into WrestleMania? Maybe it will mean something. Maybe it's going to be this huge, memorable WrestleMania moment that gets a ton of publicity. First ever full black WWE champion. But yeah, I think they should have just gone with it, called an audible last month, and have Bryan challenge him at WrestleMania. I think I would have liked that a lot more. And I'm still, the whole thing with Vince being against Kofi just doesn't make sense to me at all. I feel like it would have been a nice swerve to have Xavier Woods and Big E turn heel against Bryan and reveal that they were in Vince's ear all along and they were conspiring with Vince, telling Vince, hey, Kofi's going to drop the ball. He's not championship material, because they were jealous of him. I would have liked that storyline, and then Bryan could have retained the title at WrestleMania. Now I think that's all out the window. I don't think we're going to see that heel turn after all that crap, unless it is truly out of the Vince Russo playbook where they do a swerve that makes no sense whatsoever. Virch?
So during this time, if you look at it realistically, friends are friends, right? Why wouldn't Big E and Xavier Woods have at least said, well, we want a shot too? That's really, and I would have liked to have seen Vince force them in a triple threat. And then, hey, the winner gets to face Daniel Bryan, because at least we would have got some, Big E might have said, oh, well, now I got an opportunity in Xavier Woods. And it just doesn't make sense. It's you do that to win that title, right? Or the Universal title. And here you're just trying to get your buddy into that spot. I hope something happens. Well, I hope Big E turns heel. I don't care, or something.
I don't think it's going to happen now. And prior to today, I was thinking about going with Bryan to retain at WrestleMania and predicting that scenario. But now, I mean, this is a spoiler alert. I'm going with Kofi Kingston to win the WWE title. They're going to go for the feel-good moment. New Day's going to celebrate. No heel turn. New Day might win the tag team championships at some point, and then New Day holds all the titles. I don't know. TJS, what do you think?
Well, I still do not believe that Kofi's winning the title. I don't see it happening, and I really did not like the way that he won, or he earned his opportunity. It didn't make much sense for Vince to be like, okay, you have lost all your matches, but we're going to give your buddies the chance to earn your way into WrestleMania. Like, it was just really confusing and convoluted and lazy, quite frankly, because of the gauntlet match booking. Like, come on. We already got, this is like the third gauntlet match we've seen this year. I get that it's a tag team one, but geez. And I don't know. And then there was no swerve at the end with the Vince. He wasn't just like, he didn't say, no, Kofi's not going to WrestleMania. He's like, yeah, he's going. I don't understand why Kofi just couldn't have won the gauntlet match last week. It doesn't make any sense for, I don't know. The only good thing I can say about this is that the New Day didn't pin Rowan or Bryan. They did the count-out finish, which it's just like a cheap cop-out, I feel like, because Kofi beat 5 people last week, and now I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. Like, we knew Kofi was going to be in the match, but couldn't they have just saved it for next week or something? Have Bryan and Rowan beat them and then do like a walkout or something next week? I don't know.
But meanwhile, Big G, or not TGS, meanwhile, Daniel Bryan's been back active for 1 year, and he's the WWE champion, is a top heel.
Yeah.
We've had some people tweet us about that topic. So that, since we're talking Kofi and he's challenging Bryan, did you want to elaborate on Daniel Bryan's spot right now a little bit?
Yeah.
Off topic?
I'll talk about it. So when he was cleared to return, everyone was like, "Oh, he's back, and this is gonna be great." So let's face it, he was a little bit boring and stale. His character was, and 1 year ago he was going into WrestleMania in a tag team match, partnered up with Shane McMahon, and now he's the WWE champion, top heel, like you said, Virtue. This guy's getting tons of heat. I don't know if you guys heard how loud they were booing when he came out at the start of the show to interrupt events in New Day, but that was awesome. And I feel like he's really just doing the work of his career right now. He's changed up his in-ring style. He's a lot more aggressive. He does the stomps. And he's just really, last week when he was doing the yes chants before the knee, everyone was chanting no. Daniel Bryan's my favorite wrestler right now. His character is awesome, and his in-ring work is just awesome. And I don't want him to lose the title. I really don't. And that's a lot more than I could say for his 2013 run. I mean, it was a good little moment when he won the WWE title, but and he's really shown that if you give him the right character, this guy he's money. And one more thing that I like, since he's a heel, he doesn't wear his own merchandise. I think that's top-notch heel work right there. So I love it all around. G, what do you think, man?
Well, SmackDown, you had the gauntlet match for the tag team. Last week, you had it for Kofi. Like you said, TGS, why couldn't they just done it last week? I guess they just wanted it to build up even more. But I don't know if Kofi's going to win it at WrestleMania, especially if you're going to have Becky and Seth possibly winning their respective titles as well. And I mean, are you going to have all 3 titles change at WrestleMania and have 3 feel-good moments? I mean, it is a New York crowd, so, they're not going to not cheer. They're going to cheer regardless, if Kofi wins, if it's during the middle of the show or whatnot. But that's pretty much what I have to say about that.
Hey, it's one B-plus player. It's one B-plus player that finally moved up into the A-plus range, Daniel Bryan. And now Kofi took his spot. Aaron's pointed that out plenty of time. Yeah.
I think they're also overusing the B-plus player line. Like, come on, it was funny the first time, but they're saying it every week now. I'm just like, okay, that's enough.
Well, they want us to remember that Daniel Bryan was a B-plus player at one time, and now the roles are reversed. And like Virtue said, Bryan is an A-plus player now, and Kofi's the B-plus player.
There you have it. Hey, Aaron, I got your favorite topic we bring up every week. Triple H's career is now on the line, I guess, right? Yeah. So, first of all, he knew exactly what he was doing when somebody must have smartened him up to the Spice Girls thing. Because what do they want? They want people to capture the audio, it's more advertising. So even though it's goofy, well done, Triple H. That's been the most entertaining thing out of this.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I mean, it kind of hyped me up a little bit for this match. I don't know why. I'm not a Spice Girls fan. TJS, what do you think, man? Triple H's career on the line. He's the baby face technically in this match. Yeah. Think he's going to get out of it so we can see him for years to come at WrestleMania?
Yeah, Triple H ain't losing because he never beat Batista in the first place. So, I mean, I don't really understand why this stipulation is there, because were you guys going to predict Batista winning? Or were you unsure?
I don't know yet. I'm going to wait. I still don't know.
Well, on SmackDown 1000, you had Batista say, like, oh, yeah, Triple H never beat me. And I feel like that's what Triple H is going to do now. He's just going to beat Batista so he can get his win back, because Triple H, and I don't know, he just wants to keep wrestling. I don't see him hanging it up for like probably another 5 years at least. He'll probably still be doing his thing. I'm surprised he's even doing this match after that torn pectoral muscle. I wasn't expecting this to happen, but I guess he's giving Batista what he wants, giving him his last match, even though I think Batista is going to be doing the job, just like Triple H did the job to the Envelope. So,
yeah.
Match is still, it needs the no holds barred stipulation to protect it. Don't think it's going to be that good, but we shall see. Aaron?
Well, I think that will make it a little bit more interesting because they can use the gimmicks to work around their limitations. They got the tables, the chairs. I'm sure they'll have the kendo sticks and all that stuff. So that'll help the match. Should be a little bit better with the stipulation attached to it. Interesting that we do have some stipulations for WrestleMania this year. Not just that match, but also Shane and The Miz will be a Falls Count Anywhere match, which means we might see Shane jump off of some high platform again and do something crazy. That should be interesting. So, yeah, I mean, I felt like this promo, like you said, Virtue, was the first time that I felt a little excited for this match now. It was the first time I felt like it elevated the match's stock instead of making me care less about it. So, good job, Triple H, and the bit with jobbing to the envelope was hilarious. So, yeah, to me, that was easily the highlight of Raw, as far as I'm concerned. Big G, anything else you would like to add to that?
I did like that promo too from Triple H. The only reason why I'm saying that Batista might win is that way Triple H can focus just more on the backstage stuff for NXT and just make that his main focus now. He's getting up in age, you know. I think he's pretty much done everything that he can in the WWE.
Except Batista.
Okay, except for Batista. And the funny thing is, Raw will be in DC for the Go Home show, and I don't think Batista's advertised for that. So, are we gonna get a brawl next week if Batista shows up? Is he not gonna show up? So, I'm in for that long haul, unfortunately. Other than that, you know, I'm kind of looking forward to this match now, and we'll see what happens.
All right,
Go ahead. Hometown too. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
And another thing is, you know, are they going to boo Batista in DC, you know? So we'll see. Unless he makes some, you know, heel kind of remarks, you know, like Miz used to do about Cleveland. So we'll see.
So, speaking of matches that you may or may not want to see, how about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which probably will be on the kickoff show? But here's my problem. Why are first of all, when was the last time Saturday Night Live was good? I mean, Will Ferrell maybe, like back then, and I go way back. Eddie Murphy, Bill Murray.
Mr. Bill.
Right. That's right. So today, with television's different today, right? Streaming and this and that. SNL's still on. And the fact that WWE uses this as part of Strowman's gimmick. Strowman is getting crapped on again at Mania season. So, Big G, I'll start with you since I started with Aaron and TGS on the other one. I think this is ridiculous. And I tweeted when this segment was happening on Raw that Andre was quoting from heaven, "Please remove my name from Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal." What's your take on this? I mean, it's irritating.
This is so stupid. Andre the Giant Battle Royal was supposed to be this big thing back at WrestleMania 30 when Hulk Hogan introduced it. You had Cesaro win the very first one. It wasn't on the kickoff. And then I believe I think WrestleMania 31 and from then on, it was put on the kickoff, if I'm not mistaken.
It's really memorable, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So anyways, but then you have, I think Strowman is the only one who's entered besides the Saturday Night Live guys that I've never even heard of because I don't even watch Saturday Night Live anymore. I think the last time I watched it was with like Will Ferrell, Chris Kattan, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, David Spade, all them guys, and a couple from, you know, the late 70s, early 80s. But this is just going to be horrible, you know. So, okay, what if Strowman does win this, is anybody going to remember this from a year? No. So, I think this is pointless. They should just cut it out completely. And if you're not on the card, oh well, I guess you're not good enough to be on WrestleMania. That's all I gotta say.
Aaron?
Well, I wrote on Twitter that I feel bad that Andre's name was attached to it, and somebody apparently got pretty angry with me because he quote retweeted me and said, "Why?" and "You're effing blocked for being an idiot," or something like that. So yeah, he wasn't happy about my comment. I guess he's a fan of it, so there you go. And a couple of people like called me out saying like, "You must like Trump because you're not a fan of Saturday Night Live," and I'm like, that has nothing to do with it. I just don't think they're funny. Now, I can't speak for the other people in this panel, but yeah, I just don't find them funny. It has nothing to do with politics. I just don't think they're funny.
Well, now hold on a second, Aaron. TGS, do you like Saturday Night Live in its current iteration?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Right. That just solved
The
everything.
only person relevant on there.
If you know TJS and what he just said right there, then Aaron was proven right.
The only person relevant, I think, on Saturday Night Live right now is Kenan Thompson. That's because he's a big name.
The Nickelodeon.
Not just Michael Che and whoever the fuck this other guy is. Pardon my French, but.
Oh yeah, Aaron, it's poor Strowman. Just another crappy gimmick thing for him to worry about at Mania.
Well, let's be fair here. TGS wasn't even born when Saturday Night Live was maybe halfway decent, so there you go.
And neither was I, but.
Oh, okay, TJS, what do you think, man?
Well, I just want you guys. Okay, so these Saturday Night Live guys are in the Battle Royal, right? Okay. I want you guys to remember last year John Cena saying that he could not get a match at WrestleMania, but these Saturday Night Live guys can enter this Battle Royal.
You know what this deserves? Where are you sitting? What are you sitting next to? Bravo.
That's the toilet flush of the night. We got to have this every week. The toilet flush of the evening on the NoDQ.
There goes Braun Strowman's career, it seems like. I feel like next year he's going to be the New Year's baby or something. I mean, he's the next Big Show, and I hate to say that because I've always been a huge Braun Strowman fan from the get-go. I thought this guy had star power. He had the catchphrase. He was over with the crowd. But he's thrown in the stupid Battle Royal that needs to be renamed. Just call it the Men's Battle Royal. Because that's what they did about the Women's Battle Royal. I think it was going to be the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal or something.
Well, somebody said on Twitter that they should just rename it the Great Khali Battle Royal at this point.
You might as well.
I like it. And you guys don't think that one of these SNL guys are going to win, do you?
Might as well. Why not?
No, I mean, what Gronk did that 1 year. What Gronk did that 1 year, because he's a big football player that's been on multiple championship team. When he helped Mojo Rawley win, is that what happened? If I remember correctly. Yeah. Okay, because he wasn't in the match. These guys are going to be in the match,
right?
Like. So, non-trained wrestlers, let's start doing it
now,
again.
Now, Virtue, I got to ask you, though, like, wouldn't you find it entertaining if one of them won? Because I know you would get entertainment out of the internet fans being pissed off and being outraged over this.
Aaron, not in this level, because, first of all, it's a battle royal, and second of all, I would rather see people within the wrestling bubble, like actual workers, maybe that other fans don't like, get opportunities, not actors that aren't really that popular in my opinion, but again, who knows why WWE does their thing. I mean, it's crazy though. Linda's on Donald Trump's cabinet and everyone knows SNL blasts Trump every second they can get, yet these guys are in Vince's company going to be on his big show.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of weird stuff going on right there.
It's going to add more to Braun Strowman's pointless resume. He won the Greatest Royal Rumble. Remember that? Money in the Bank.
No, I don't.
Something that some stuff.
I don't.
It's
like some of the stuff. I try to erase from my memory because it's like, why have the Greatest Royal Rumble match when you just get a big old trophy? Why do you have this Best in the World tournament just to win a trophy?
Well, to be fair, pointless. The Best in the World tournament at least led to a WrestleMania match. I'll say that much.
Yeah, Yeah, okay, I'll give it that. But
Aaron was trying to get me committal that I troll. Obviously, this proves that I don't troll, or I would be putting these guys being in the battle royal over, hoping they would win.
Yes.
When I say what's on my mind, it's because I think of Vince McMahon business, and it comes across to trolling because most fans don't like what Vince McMahon does.
Yep.
Anyway, good, quick discussion there. How about this?
$90 stock.
Hart Foundation, but just Brett and just Jim are in the Hall of Fame. The same year that DX headlines, but it's not the same Hart Foundation, Aaron, because it's not the one with Pillman,
Right.
Owen, of course, for obvious reasons, Bulldog. So what's your thoughts on this? Aaron, I'll start with you. I remember the original Hart Foundation with just the two, with some classic work against Demolition, against the British Bulldogs. Probably going way back, before TJS and Big G's time. I think this is good. It's really just to get Jim in, and of course to not have Owen in so Martha doesn't sue. What do you think?
Pretty much, yeah. I think that it's long overdue. Should have happened when Jim Neidhart was alive. I have a bad taste in my mouth the fact that they're doing this now that he's passed away. It should have been done years ago. Hart Foundation, they were one of the greatest WWE tag teams of the 1980s, so they deserve to go in. Should have happened a long time ago. I feel too many people are being inducted into the Hall of Fame, though. I mean, I feel like you have all these teams going in this year, especially with DX, Harlem Heat, Hart Foundation. It should just be one tag team a year, one singles act or two singles act, and then maybe a faction, and then call it a day. I think they're inducting too many people, in my own
Who's
opinion.
getting their second nods this year? So Brett, Sean,
and Booker.
Because the way they're doing it with groups and tag teams. Big G, what's your thoughts? Did you do some Hart Foundation research?
Yeah, I watched some of their matches on the network.
Oh, look at that yawn.
That's one.
Oh, he's got to count.
Yes, all right.
So, yeah, I watched some of their matches.
Put him down for two. I saw one earlier.
Okay.
All right.
So,
carry on.
I watched their matches on the network, which you can get for $9.99 a month. Yeah, it's kind of funny how, you got all this tag team going in this year because they're running out of people to put in. Like you said, Booker, Sean, and Brett are now two-time Hall of Famers. And I'm sure Brett's going to say, this one's for Owen, this one's for British Bulldog, this one's for Brian Pillman, just to give them their nod. And because we know Owen's possibly never going to go in the Hall of Fame by himself. And they're not going to put the Hart Foundation with all of them in there. So they figured might as well just do Brett and Anvil since Anvil passed last year. And, that's all I got to say. TJS.
I feel like if they did the faction Hart Foundation, it would be really sad because Bret Hart would be the only one alive out of the group, besides Jimmy. And I don't know. I do agree with you guys, though. Jim Neidhart should have been in a long time ago, along with Bret as the Hart Foundation. And yeah, they are running out of people to put in, I feel like, because it's just team after team. We've got 3 teams going in, and they induct like 5 people every year, which it's too much when you're doing this yearly. Maybe just do 3 a year, like you guys said. 1 man, 1 tag team, and then 1 woman, I guess. That would make the ceremony a lot shorter, too, because we know how long that thing goes.
But then maybe they couldn't justify selling the tickets to that because, you know what I mean? It'd be like an hour.
Yeah.
Who would want to even spend $25 for that,
That's true. And I think that...
almost 3. I say 2.5. Anyway, keep going.
They need to build a physical Hall of Fame already because... I don't know, because I guess the only way you can find out who's in the Hall of Fame is whenever they say WWE Hall of Famer, or you look it up on Wikipedia or whatever. It's just, I think it's dumb, and it doesn't mean much anymore. Besides, you just get the ring, and you have to be in good graces with WWE, or let's face it, you're not going in the Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter how much you've done. If you get on Vince's bad side, you're going to be left out, which... is stupid in my opinion.
You know what? Why can't they make a deal with like Universal Studios, California and Florida, and have like big, like a big ride or something that they can actually people can go there to see. and then they wouldn't have to expense it so much. But I don't know. That's just an idea.
They're getting a new headquarters. Why don't they just make the old headquarters the Hall of Fame or something?
Well, I think they lease that though, so they might obviously if they don't own that. But nonetheless, I'm gonna try Mania Week. Take the ride out to Stamford and do some selfies in front of the Titan Tower. So we'll see how that goes. All right. How about this topic? This one's for Caitlin, Aaron. The Bellas officially retired, I guess, from in-ring action. I think they were the last. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm missing someone, were they kind of the last ones that were tied to the Diva era that maybe even overlapped into the Evolution, the Revolution?
Yeah.
And so I think because of that, this is significant. You know, they weren't the best wrestlers in the world, right? They were, when they first came in, it was twins, you know, twin fetishes. I mean, their looks, but they got a little bit better. Brie was always the better wrestler, especially early on. Nikki ended up improving, and I think they had a pretty good run, a pretty good career, and I'd even say they're going to definitely be future WWE Hall of Famers. So what's everyone's take on this? And, you know, in wrestling, does this mean they're actually done? Who wants to start? Eeny, meeny, miny, Aaron.
Okay, sure. I don't think that they're going to be 100% done because nobody really retires from wrestling. People always come back. I think they're done for now. But if there's an opportunity for them to come back, I think they will come back. Maybe Brie wants to have a second child. Who knows? Nikki's got her thing going on with that guy Artem from Dancing with the Stars. They're keeping busy with other things right now. They got their shows. They're still running Total Bellas and Total Divas. So they're keeping busy. They got their wine company, their Birdie Bee company. They're doing all sorts of things. But one day there might be an opportunity. If the tag team title situation calls for it, they might make a comeback. If the timing is right, they're in the right place at the right time, and the tag team champions need some star power challengers to face, the Bellas could just step right in and take that spot at a big pay-per-view.
Yeah, because they're what, Aaron, 30s?
35?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Big G. And which one do you like better?
Man, I was always a fan of Brie Bella for some reason. I don't know why. Nothing against Nikki Bella, of course. They did have good careers. You know, they both started off with the whole twin magic thing, and they had their feud back in 2014. I remember, was it 2014 or 15? I
14.
think, because 14. I remember that because that was at a Raw where they had Jerry Springer on there. Do you guys remember that vividly?
Yeah.
I just remember I Wish You Died in the Womb.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was part of that episode. But then they came back, you know, for the first women's pay-per-view Evolution, and they did that. Nikki had her match against Ronda, and now they're working on their Birdie Bee and, like you said, Aaron, their wine company, and Total Bellas, Total Divas. I think they're even doing a podcast now, I think. So They're pretty busy, and, you know, Brie wants to be there for her child, you know, since Daniel's back on the road. Nikki's finally in a relationship. You know, maybe she'll finally get married. Maybe she'll finally get that baby that she's always wanted that Cena couldn't give to her because he closed the door on her. Yeah, so, you know, that's pretty much what I have to say about the Bellas. TJS, anything else?
I was laughing at I Wish You Died in the Womb line. Like, geez, man. Who says that?
And what was bad about it? What was bad about it was that was a big line, right? But then, like, literally 2 months later, Brie got back with Nikki again, and they were together.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Bellas are the Bellas. I'm sure they'll be in the Hall of Fame next year, probably. Wouldn't shock me.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's in Florida.
Yeah, they'll go in super early. And I guess this explains why we didn't see them in the Royal Rumble this year. I guess that Nikki had been planning to retire for quite some time. But remember, Brie also was retired, and then she came out of retirement. So we'll see what happens. Like you guys said, I'm sure that they're not done. They'll probably be back. And I feel like at this rate, the women's tag team champions are running out of challengers already because they're facing 3 teams at WrestleMania. They could have stretched this out a little bit. I get that it's a multi-brand thing, but come on, man. I feel like Natalya and Beth Phoenix versus them would have been fine, but no. Yeah, the Bellas are Bellas, like you guys said. They're busy, whatever.
Who is your favorite Bella? Go ahead, TJS.
Oh, I think I like Brie more.
Okay. You, Virtue?
Nikki.
Okay. You, Aaron?
I always thought like Nikki was a little bit more attractive, but Brie, I like her personality more. So there you go.
Yeah. So
How was that, TJS?
Aaron definitely took the safe route there, but that's okay. This next topic is really near and dear to me because this goes out to Dave Meltzer, Wade Keller, Bruce Mitchell, and the list goes on. The ones that have spent their entire journalistic careers bashing one Vince Russo, and the fact that through the efforts of the Attitude Era, through what we call Crash TV, which TGS, you now know what Crash TV is, we got one of the biggest Hollywood stars in history of Hollywood. You can probably, when it's all said and done, put The Rock up there with Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Cruise. I'm serious. Now, it's not directly related to what he did in WWF, but that's where he became a star. And writing for him was Vince Russo, and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, tweeted great things. I don't remember exactly what they were because I'm still like, so I couldn't believe I saw that. And that was awesome. And Rock ain't gonna bullshit with that stuff. He put Vince Russo over. And so what's everybody's thoughts on this? Because I just think that a lot of people, Vince Russo will never make the WWE Hall of Fame. The way he did everything, even Ed Ferrara, they'll never get noticed because they're writers. This happens a lot in TV shows, too. The actors get all the attention, the directors, the producers, but the writers, you don't really hear who they are. So, TJS, what's your thoughts about this? Because I'm bringing it up because it's 2019. Everybody says Russo's not relevant, yet Dwayne Johnson put him over 20 years later.
Yeah, you got points there. I think that, it's like you said, if Rock never was a wrestler, then I mean we probably wouldn't know who he is, because I feel like he started out as Rocky Maivia, and perhaps that's what he would be today if he never underwent the change that WWE put him through, made him The Rock, made him the charismatic superstar that he is today. And it's like you said, Virtue, he's one of the greatest actors of all time. I feel like this guy's in like every single movie. Like every movie, it's like, oh, it has The Rock.
Well, when you can get Jumanji to almost bank $1 billion gross worldwide, you know what I mean? That's insane.
Yeah. Yep. He's a huge star. He's like I think he was the top paid actor a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Forbes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure that.
But do you think that wrestling, where the era he was in, helped? Like if he was in 92, 93, that era, 94, 95, do you think he would have became a bigger Hollywood star? Do you think that late 90s Attitude Era against Austin, where 10 million people were watching wrestling every week, do you think that helped Rock become this big star? Or would it have happened anyway because he's talented? You know what I mean? That's a good, I don't even know the answer to that.
Yeah, I think that it definitely helped. Timing is everything. And I feel like him coming in the Attitude Era and cutting the promos, getting the catchphrases, doing the eyebrow raise, all of that just really helped solidify him as a superstar. And then I guess Hollywood saw him and they're like, hey, I think his first movie was The Scorpion King or something like that.
Yep.
No?
Well, maybe the first main one. What was the first
Mummy Returns.
He made a cameo in The Mummy Returns briefly. And then, yes, TJS, his first feature film was The Scorpion King, yes.
Yeah, and now he's been in like dozens and dozens of movies.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, Vince is probably taking a lot of pride in this too. Not Russo, but McMahon. He's probably just in.
Well, Russo is definitely doing it.
Oh yeah, but I'm sure Vince would take all the credit in the world for it.
But I mean, there's Mick Foley, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, Rock. These people are all people that Vince wrote for, Russo, and they've all said good things about Vince Russo. I'm just saying, it was a great dynamic when Vince McMahon, the grand puppeteer, had all the pieces in play, and we watched something we'll never probably see again. He literally was fighting a losing battle, and he had the balls to change the product, which right now is bad again, but there's nobody threatening him. And I'd like to see what ends up happening this era. But TJS, what's your thoughts on this? Anything?
Oh yeah, I just
not
think...
TJS. I was looking at Big G and I said your name because he's going to probably rattle all the Rock's movies off right now.
Yeah, I probably will. Now, so yeah, I did read, the tweet that The Rock sent out to Russo saying, every time The Rock had an idea or something like that, Russo was like, yeah, let's do it, And I think he had tweeted out because it was like the 20th anniversary of the beer truck segment with Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm.
And, Russo, like when I was a kid, I didn't know who wrote all this stuff. And when I grew up later on, I found out Vince Russo wrote all this stuff. I'm like, wow, okay. You had all these great segments, not because of one guy, but from, I guess, that Ed Ferrara guy, too. He worked with Russo.
Yeah. They brought him in a little bit later because he actually had television writing experience.
Yeah. And like you said, the writers don't get any credit in television shows or in the WWE, It's all the actors, the directors, producers. But the writers, they just sit back there and like, okay, they're pretty much the brains behind the operation, if you want to think about it. As far as The Rock, if it wasn't for him being in the WWE, I don't think he would be as big as an actor or an actor at all. And now look at John Cena trying to be an actor and Batista. And I think RVD was in one or two films, and Kurt Angle was in some cheap-ass horror movie. And so, who?
That's the Marine.
Oh, The Miz. Okay. The Miz is not an A-lister. The Rock is an A-lister. The Miz, when it comes to movies, because it's direct to DVD or Blu-ray.
But that's the brilliance of his gimmick. He says he's an A-lister. That's
I know.
Fun. I love it.
Yeah, Rock's been in plenty of movies. I mean, the Fast and the Furious franchise. He's coming out with a spin-off with that. Jumanji's having a sequel. San Andreas. The worst movie that The Rock's ever done.
Told you he'd name all the movies.
Is
Doom.
Was it Doom?
Yeah.
I think Doom was horrible. And then you had the Tooth Fairy. Oh, Lord,
I can see the comments now, though. People are going to be like, I love that movie. Walking Tall. What's that one with Sean William Scott?
The Rundown.
I like that.
That was the best one, in my opinion.
That was fun because Christopher Walken was in it.
Yeah. They were all
Thank
good.
you, Rock, man.
There's a good guy from Saturday Night Live, Christopher Walken.
Yes.
There you go.
Aaron, any thoughts on this without mentioning WCW 2000?
I know it's hard not to, right? I mean, I think if it wasn't for WCW and all that controversy, he probably would have a decent shot at the Hall of Fame. And who knows? Never say never. I know people think it's unlikely. I mean, he seems to be one of the most unlikely candidates for the Hall of Fame. But stranger things have happened. Ultimate Warrior went into the Hall of Fame. Bruno Sammartino went into the Hall of Fame. Now, granted, Vince Russo's career is a bit more controversial.
But that was all because of Triple H, though, wasn't it? With Ultimate Warrior and Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah, well, maybe Triple H is a Russo fan. You never know. Maybe Triple H will say one year, let's do it. Let's change things up. I mean, it would be nice in general to see some more non-wrestlers going into the Hall of Fame.
Like Jim Johnston. You've talked about that.
Oh, yeah,
before.
for sure.
I mean, their contribution. I mean, the Ultimate Warrior Award is supposed to, they've turned it into mostly giving it to the sick people or whatever, but it's supposed to be about people that have worked years for WWE or made significant contributions that weren't in front of the camera for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like this year's induction, because it feels like it at least is going in that direction of what the Ultimate Warrior actually wanted with this award.
Yeah.
I agree.
And guess what? No Celebrity Hall of Fame this year, thank God.
Oh, wow, that's true.
Unless
they only have so many people they can put in that wing, so maybe they'll take a couple years off. But They should actually only do the Hall of Fame like every other year, Aaron, because they're running out of people, you know?
Right. Yeah, they're too
Pretty
many.
soon they'll be putting more active roster
They're
people.
literally gonna pull people out of their butts next year.
I mean, think about it.
So
this year they had to induct 3 people for a second time.
The women are finally, it's official. We don't have to guess. We don't have to wonder what if. WWE has announced that the Raw Women's Championship, and we're going to add some stuff to that. Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey is headlining, going on last. First time ever for the women. I don't think it would happen if they didn't have Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey was the UFC darling, right? She had that run before she got beat her last 2 fights. The reason why they signed her to get that hype, and the fact now that she's the champion and the women are going on last, I don't care if people hate Ronda, with their gimmick. She can't talk on the mic, this or that. She looks sloppy when she works. The reason why the women are going on last, in my opinion, is because of Ronda Rousey. Now, Charlotte Flair just on SmackDown beat poor Asuka and won the SmackDown Women's Championship. So now there's both female champions are in this match. Ronda the Raw, and Charlotte now the SmackDown. We don't know if it's just going to stay the Raw Women's Championship. Aaron, what's your thoughts on this? It looks like they're putting everything into the mixing bowl for this main event.
As they should. Again, I don't have a problem with Charlotte being the champion. Asuka really wasn't doing much of anything. I just question, first of all, why did Asuka defeat Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble? Just goes to show the long-term planning isn't there in WWE. I feel like this was probably a last-minute decision. Somebody said, hey, we got to make this match even bigger. It's the main event. We got to add some more to it, so we got to have Charlotte as the champion. I'd like to see the titles merged. I don't know if that's what's going to happen here. I think they should be merged, winner takes all. But I could see Becky winning the match, and then afterwards Charlotte and Becky hug or something, and then Sasha and Bayley come out with the women's tag titles, and they do like the big ending with all the women holding up the titles. I feel like that's how WrestleMania is going to end.
All horsewomen.
Yeah, and then Ronda will come back, take a break, come back, and then they'll do that horsewomen match between the WWE and MMA horsewomen. That's what I think is going to happen. TJS, you seem like you're not sold on that idea. What do you think?
I just don't like the idea of Charlotte and Becky being friends again. After all the bad blood that they've been through, I just think that's weird, and that it's not, I don't know. I feel like instead of that, we should have the 4 horsewomen come out like later, after Ronda came off her hiatus, and then they say they're going to take WWE over, blah, blah. And then Charlotte and Becky are forced to reunite along with Bayley and Sasha. And it's like, oh, the only match for the MMA 4 horsewomen is the WWE 4 horsewomen. Or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
as far
I just want to add, back to what I was saying. I think it's going to be where Becky will win. She'll be celebrating. Sasha and Bayley will come out with their titles, and then Charlotte will be in the corner with her title. It's kind of awkward, and then Bayley and Sasha will talk Charlotte into, making peace with Becky, and then all of them will hold up their titles.
I guess that makes sense. But I don't know if the titles are merging. I don't see them. But if they aren't, then I guess that makes sense, because you'll have Becky on Raw after she wins the title and Charlotte on SmackDown. So their paths really aren't going to cross. So they could just say, oh, this is, I'm saying goodbye to my friend or whatever. But poor Asuka, like you guys said, she doesn't deserve this. I even said in the NoDQ group chat, no, Asuka's not losing. This isn't going to happen.
I know. And I was like, and then I called you, you know who.
Yeah, I'll be damned. Plans change. I don't know how to feel about this. So if the titles aren't on the line, I feel like this may have been done to shorten WrestleMania a little bit, because this had to have been a last-minute decision, because they were advertising that fatal 4-way match to determine Asuka's WrestleMania challenge between Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Naomi, and
Doesn't matter at this point.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, it's
Carmella.
Both titles. They're going to have that graphic up soon, and You're going to see both titles on there. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I figure they'll wait until Raw to announce that it's a unification match or whatever. They wouldn't announce, or they'll do it on Twitter or something. I don't know. So, what does this mean for Asuka at WrestleMania? What do you guys think? Catering?
Yeah.
Not on the card. I mean, Big G, why do I just have this more so now than before SmackDown aired and this happened and Charlotte won? Why am I starting to envision, and this isn't my prediction yet because we still have time to do those, Ronda holding both of those titles up at the end of WrestleMania? I don't know. What's your thoughts on this? So because of the way I think. And
I know.
Go for it.
Well, I was on the way home driving, having SmackDown in the background, and all of a sudden I hear, this match is for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I'm like, what? So that kind of threw me off a little bit. And then I figured Asuka was going to retain because, I thought they were going to have Asuka versus one of those 4 females at WrestleMania. But I like TJS's idea because he said that they're going to try to cut down WrestleMania, which I think would be fantastic. But I don't think they're going to unify the titles at WrestleMania.
Clarify, cut down WrestleMania. 17 matches to 15 matches? I mean, come on. Is that really cutting down anything?
Well, if it's...
They're just taking...
If it's 17 to 15, it's a little bit. It's a chunk. It's a sliver. Anyways... I like Aaron's idea, at the end, all 4 horsewomen holding up their respective titles. I think they had Charlotte win the SmackDown Women's Championship just to get momentum back on her side since Becky got the momentum on Raw last night. And I don't know what's going to happen on Raw next week with this whole 6-woman tag team match. If one of them attacks each other or something like that, then they're kicked out of the match. So I want to see how that plays out. And I'm sure after the match they'll have a big old brawl, and then you'll have security come out and pull them apart, and we, the crowd, are gonna chant, "Let them fight." And
Did you make it home okay? I know you said you had SmackDown on. Did you fall asleep behind the wheel or anything?
No.
That would have been driving home during Raw, right? Everybody hates Raw, it seems like, but the consensus is people like SmackDown more.
Right.
Yeah. Well, all right, let's move to the main event. The women are getting it at WrestleMania, so we're going to go back to Aaron, you kind of brought this topic up. I like this one.
Okay.
So Seth Rollins is challenging Brock Lesnar for the Universal Champion. Is this going to be the feel good? Is he going to win it? Stay tuned for all of our predictions. But, say after WrestleMania, or say, where does this leave Roman Reigns? And I wrote it out this way. Is Roman lurking and ready to take back his spot from Seth after Mania if Seth does beat Brock? Because I really think, how long can they go how long can Vince McMahon go without having his man, the guy, whatever, the big dog, at the #1 spot? So TJS, is Roman lurking? I know he's feuding with McIntyre right now, which is weird. Organic heel. Well, I don't know if it's organic, but heel heat and babyface heat, just like a feud is supposed to go. Fans are playing along. I like it. What's your take on after Mania?
Man, I think that Roman is lurking. I think the big dog's gonna hunt. Ooh, seriously though, I'm not sure if Roman's gonna be in the mid card or not. If Roman beats Seth for the title, I think that would be weird because Seth has been in the mid card for so long. He was the Intercontinental Champion forever. He had the feud with Dolph. They had 50 matches. I expect Roman to not be Universal Champion for at least maybe SummerSlam. I think is when he'll have a match with Seth. But I think they'll try to give Seth a little decent reign. Because I just don't think. Oh, Aaron, you still think Lesnar's retained?
Well, I'm going to throw a curveball in this. Do you think the superstar shakeup that they usually have after Mania could affect where the WWE title lands?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that you said that,
you got to think that though,
Yeah, SmackDown is going to Fox. Roman Reigns, SmackDown, top guy, Fox. I mean, it just makes sense to me. It just seems natural. And of course, Seth is going to get shafted. He's going to be the secondary champion, despite him being such a workhorse and everything. Not that Roman hasn't been, but I just feel like it's Seth's time to shine, and he's just going to get pushed to the side again, which really sucks. But that's about all I have to say about it. I think Roman's going to end up on SmackDown, and Seth will have his little Raw reign. Aaron?
Well, I do not think Seth is winning the title at WrestleMania. I think Brock Lesnar is going to retain. I'm sticking with my prediction.
I'm rubbing off on Aaron. I like it.
It's hard to bet against Brock, especially when the money's being thrown at him. Saudi Arabia likes Brock. I'm sure they're going to want him for more shows. I think Brock's going to win. And I could see Roman Reigns going to SmackDown Live, but who knows what's going on with the brand extension at this point. Who knows if it's even going to be a thing after WrestleMania. Apparently there is a superstar shakeup scheduled, so we'll see. But one would think if WWE's really taking the Fox move seriously that Roman Reigns will go over to SmackDown, and Raw will probably get a lot of big stars from SmackDown anyways. Although in recent years it doesn't feel like SmackDown has gotten gutted quite as badly as it used to. Reigns I could see being on SmackDown, and as far as who feuds with Brock after WrestleMania, I have no idea. I could see Rollins just feuding with McIntyre after WrestleMania, no title on the line, and Brock will feud with maybe Strowman. Maybe Strowman will rebound after WrestleMania.
If Kofi happens to get the WWE title, what better way to lose it than to Roman Reigns? Oh, man, I would be so happy. I had to throw that in there.
Well, Reigns will probably feud with somebody like Joe or Randy Orton or something like that for a while, and then eventually get back in the title picture.
Big G.
Yes, Big G. Well, first of all, screw Brock Lesnar and his goofy haircut and his crooked ass teeth.
Glasses off.
Yes, glasses off. No. Anyways, as far as Seth Rollins, I think he is going to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania and have the title for, I don't want to say too long, possibly up until SummerSlam, and then feud with somebody else. And like you guys said, I think once SmackDown goes to Fox in October, I think Reigns is going to go over there too, because I need the big dog over there. And other than that, not much else to say.
You know what I think is really funny is that you guys remember when Finn Balor had to relinquish the Universal title over his shoulder injury, and then when he came back, everyone was like, when's Finn getting his rematch? But no one's done that for Reigns, which I think is so hypocritical on the fans' part.
Well, they don't get rematches anymore. The rematch clause is no longer in existence.
But
when I was a kid, I thought the titles meant a lot. Now that I'm older, I don't care. As long as you're getting featured, on TV, well,
they are.
The titles are a prop.
I still think it's hypocritical of the fans too, because Reigns was fighting for his life. Finn had a shoulder injury, and they were like, "Oh, give Finn his rematch, Vince." I haven't seen a single person advocate for Reigns at his rematch. So.
Well, you got to understand what WWE's doing. They're not throwing him right back up there because they know it'll be counterproductive and he'll probably get booed because they'll be like, oh, God, Roman's back and he's right back where he was. Boo.
They want Roman to be, vulnerable. He's coming back from leukemia.
I like that.
It
keeps the fans kind of behind him a little bit because he's technically not taking their darling spot. You know what I mean?
Because like you said, Virtue, if they put him back right away, everything that he has done since he came back from his leukemia,
well,
people are gonna turn. They'll turn on him in a heartbeat. And I don't think Vince wants that. So I think Vince is doing everything possible to keep Roman, upper mid card right now against McIntyre. He'll feud against somebody else during SummerSlam, and then, like I said,
it's kind of like, but I think of SummerSlam '90. When Warrior was the champ and defended against Rude in the cage. Hogan didn't have a title. He was feuding against Earthquake, but it was still kind of a big deal. That's kind of how I feel they're going to do Roman Reigns the rest of this year, just kind of have him in those non-title matches, but big, feuds, and hopefully, like Hogan, the people stay behind Roman compared to how it was last time.
the way that they're booking McIntyre is just crazy. Like, he's booked really strongly. Like, well, I know who's going to win the match, but I'm at least intrigued a little bit.
Well, don't say that. The last 4 WrestleManias that Roman headlined and went on last, his booking is 2-2.
Yeah.
The last 4 Manias, he's won 2 matches, he's lost 2 matches.
I'm trying to think.
Seth Rollins cashed in, okay?
Yeah.
Then he beat Triple H, he beat Undertaker, then he lost to Brock. So don't guarantee, because it's Roman, he's going over.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
Also, did you guys notice that on Raw they were chanting Roman when McIntyre was cutting his promo?
It feels like WWE. That's how they always wanted the fans to react, and they're actually for once doing it, booing the heel, cheering the baby. Like, that's why I'm kind of intrigued to see how this plays out at MetLife Stadium. I didn't think a couple months ago I was going to see Roman, and now he's back. You know,
It's gonna make your day.
It will fight forever.
This match is going to be a dark horse for match of the night, I think. So seriously, I think it could be really good.
So there you have it, No DQ Galaxy. Another fantastic No DQ review by the Elite team. I'm ready for bed. So let's go around and do our shout outs. Big G, I'll start with you.
Yes. NoDQ.com/Big G takes you to my Twitter page. NoDQ_Big G on Instagram. Jeff Felt on Facebook. NoDQ.com/shirts. I'm wearing my Big G shirt. Virtue's got his OG Virtue's Raid upside down shirt. NoDQ.com Galaxy. Everybody's name's on there. TJS is wearing something Island, Alabama. Who cares about what TJS is wearing?
But he lives in Arkansas.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it for the Big G. TJS, take it away.
NoDQ.com/TJS. They'll take you to my Facebook profile. Interact with me there if you want. Message me. We can talk about some wrestling. Twitter at NoDQ_TJS. That's my Twitter page, of course. And you can follow me there. I tweet sometimes. I do live tweets, things of that nature. And I believe that Aaron is still selling NoDQ pins, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Big G has one right there for you guys. Great demonstration. They are 3 for 5 and 5 for 10. So hit Aaron up at, not at, but NoDQMISC@gmail.com. And finally, April 4th, Thursday, WrestleMania week, big wrestling trivia challenge match, Iron Man match, Greg Cherry versus Jeff Meacham. You guys don't want to miss it. 60 minutes. I'm looking forward to it. It's probably going to be the highlight of WrestleMania weekend.
$150 on the line, people.
Yeah, and I believe that's a
clarify that, Big G. So
How do you
people
mean?
Understand. You said 150 on the line. People don't know what that means.
Well, you're putting $100 on the line to the winner, correct?
Well, I'm not putting it on the line. It's already won by whoever.
Oh
wins.
yeah, okay, whatever.
Guaranteed.
And I decided to put $50 to the winner as well. So.
TJS, what are you putting up?
I'll give him this roll of toilet paper.
All right, well,
ouch.
I'm sure Jeff and Greg could use some toilet paper. All right, guys, so make sure you stay tuned to NoDQ.com this weekend, and next week it's going to be crazy. We got NXT predictions coming up, WrestleMania predictions. Everyone's going to have their predictions. It's going to be a fun week, and, of course, the trivia match. Stay tuned for all that, and that's all I got. Virtue, let's go and wrap this bad boy up.
To make it easy, just follow me on Twitter at NoDQ_Virtue, and you will see everything there. So that's it. For Aaron Rift, for TJS, for Big G, I'm Virtue. See you next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Gary Hebert, the man, the myth, the legend. I was amazed, and I was looking to become a better skater myself, and I wanted to be like Gary.
When you look at a guy like this, he's one of the most talented people in his profession. He's been given gifts by God.
It can get frustrating at times when you're trying things that, that maybe don't come as quickly to you as other things. And, you never really felt that sense of frustration with Gary. It was always about improvement and positive reinforcement.
Was it really the end? Was that head injury really the end? God has called Gary to continue to be a blessing to others and to be a passionate example.
My name is Gary Hebert, and this is the World Academy of Hockey, otherwise known as the Inside Edge.
I would recommend anybody that have a chance to come to his hockey school. I think it'd be well worth it. It'd be rewarding to all the kids and anyone he coaches, from whether it's an adult, a professional player, to a little kid like a Mite or a Squirt.
Gary, from day one, has been instrumental to my hockey career. I started out as a potential Division III player, and Gary brought me single-handedly through high school and into a top Division I prospect. I owe it all to Gary, the biggest legend on and off ice there's ever been.
Listen, watch, learn, be confident, and have faith. Those are the answers I was brought to. Yet, I only now am really learning how truly important those 5 things are.
Through preparation, through appropriate thoughtfulness and thinking, we can learn to untie the typical knots between our ears that drive us into underachievement and underperformance. And lo and behold, we can learn, I think, to fulfill our God-given potentials.
Gary has the innate ability to make people not only better players, but better people. The life lessons they learn from Gary are incredible.
I can always remember leaving that rink knowing as a player I got better, or I had something to improve on to get better. And I think that's what you excelled on as a coach, is giving us the knowledge to know what we needed to do to get better.
There's coaches who know the game, but can you communicate and create passion in your kids and in your players? And Gary's able to do that.
Gary's got great knowledge and the great hands, but more importantly, his ability to connect with people and care for them. His communication skills, to me, really stand out and separate him, and that's why he's one of the best, in the world.
Gary's a legend. He's a special man.
Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from A Simple Man's Brand.
Fuck the coronavirus! But I digress. Hello everybody. Now I'm just Simple Man, and my name's Noah Foster. Welcome to this special Simple Take. In this Simple Take, I'll be giving you my brief thoughts, analysis, and conclusions on the Wrestle Talk No Fans Monday Wrestle Showcase, hosted, of course, by Wrestle Talk and Will Ospreay. You talk about a way to really get away from all the crap in the world when it comes to this virus and being stuck at home and trying to give to the wrestling fans, but also giving people that make a living purely off wrestling as a whole, the independent wrestling scene, basically. And they pulled it off here by a landslide. I would truly love for this to be a monthly thing, and I'll contribute any way I can. I donated like $9. It was like the last $9 I have. I digress. I thoroughly loved this show with the cheap digs and all the little banned words from WWE, with all the subtleties that we as fans critique, per se. Let me try and move this, actually. That we as fans, per se, criticize other companies for, whether it's the commentary, whether it's certain terminology, whether it's just, little niches like that. And they truly brought together as if it was like a mini pay-per-view. I mean, it wasn't even as long as a Monday Night Raw, and there was like 7 matches. Yeah, think about that. 7 matches, none of them were filler, none of them were bullcrap, nobody got buried, and I wasn't bored at all. I didn't feel like I had to take a bathroom break. I just wanted to see who was going to win. With that being said, there was a number of times I did recognize from this forum, but there was also a few that pleasantly surprised me that I never heard of, but I hope to learn more of. So I'm just going to briefly go and run through each match and give my thoughts on the overall outcome and the winner. The open match was Paul Robinson, who apparently was a former tag team partner of Will Ospreay, and holds the title for a promotion where he defines the rules in whatever match he defends that title for. I find that very interesting. It's like a freelance title per se. And then he was facing this person known as the OGMMO. I thought that he was the British Rev Pro Cruiserweight Heavyweight Champion. I must be thinking about somebody else. But anyway, he's known as the master of the half Boston Crab. But he pulled out that move, some wicked dragon screws. Paul Robinson definitely got about the title, as he literally talked to at one point in this match, set up by the chair. I guess the fans in attendance, all the zeros of them. He was worried that someone was going to touch it, I guess, or take it. I don't know. Anyway, it was a really interesting match because towards the end, he basically got the best of him with, ref distraction, the dreaded low blow, and then a curb stomp. He basically does a curb stomp for his finisher. I was pleasantly surprised. In this match, both men demonstrated a lot of attitude, tenacity, and at one point, Parmas was like, screw you. What am I going to do? I'm going to drag and screw your legs. So that's what the OJML did. And I look very forward to seeing what else Paul Robinson brings. I think he impressed me more in this match. Now I want to see what he does with that title. And I thought it was a really good, simple opener. Basically a cruiserweight match, per se, in my opinion. A lot more mat-based with some aerial offense, hosted by both men. And Paul Robinson definitely came in here with all the attitude in the world. Following this, we actually go into our first little backstage vignette. And, of course, the backstage interviewers are the staff of Wrestle Talk. And it was basically Aaliyah James being interviewed as she was apparently not medically cleared. So apparently the women's match was supposed to be a triple threat between Giselle Shaw, Aaliyah James, and Mercedes, excuse me, Blaze. It got turned into a singles match. It was Adam Blotman that was the interview guy. I gotta try and recognize these people from Wrestle Talk. Anyway, so she talks a little bit of smack. It's like, oh, big surprise, and basically we just go from there. And then the next match we went into was their form of a five-way dance, the Scramble of Doom. In this, I learned that the rules apparently were first pinfall or submission, I believe, wins it, and there was no disqualification, no DQ. Nah, no DQ. Anyway, this match, though, featured Adam Flex Mested, who really reminded me a bit of a Miz, just a lot better built, and actually I thought he did really well in the ring, because apparently he was part of a reality show in the UK. I don't watch reality shows, folks. Go figure. Carlos Romo, who apparently was running at one point with A-Kid, who's now in NXT UK, out of Spain. Malik, who was simply known as the heavy hitter. I knew a little bit about him. That's why he was my pick in this match, and boy, did he deliver. Mr. Massive himself, apparently, as he's called, Chuck Cyrus. Damn, that's a big boy. And the Kiwi Dropout. What a nickname. Paul Sayers. A very international blend throughout this match. And by the way, as soon as the match started, Adam Flex, he came with a little promo, talking about he's glad that we fans aren't there live because he didn't want to be in front of all these ugly people. So, of course, the chat. It was really interesting this way. It was like no fans Monday in attendance, yet they were able to basically bring an audience of 11,000 people reacting to these matches as if they were there. And yes, we all, including me, just boo the guy in the chat. I also love the set with the commentary team. Riley Davis is part of this three-person panel, but not really a commentary. He just focused more on the super chats, keeping us up to date and sending out shout-outs. Why two other men that work with Wrestle Talk, they were basically the primary commentary, because we all know Riley Davis, if you follow Wrestle Talk to a degree like I do, because again, they give me my news on this. He talks about his field, three people, commentary booths. And personally, I think only one company is actually pulling, well, two now that I see it, are kind of pulling it off. WWE, stop it. You're failing. Except with NXT. Anyway, going off the rails. This was a really interesting five-way match, as all four men basically kicked the hell out of Adam Flex immediately. And then it just became an all-out brawl among all of them. Biggest moments for me, though, were first off on commentary. One of them saying, like, look at our audience in the chat. We have a bigger audience than Impact Wrestling's most live audience at their tape shows. Ouch. Although he's not wrong. Anyway, following this, though, Chuck looked like definitely the MVP here, a massive superstar. At one point, powerbombing everybody and almost powerbombing the ref. And then a Tara Doom spot came out of nowhere where Malik literally takes Cyrus and, no, excuse me. It was, I gotta confuse these names. Sorry, folks. And my throat hurts. Malik basically Tara Dooms Paul and what's his name? Paul and Malik. Yeah, Malik Tara Dooms Paul and I don't know why I can't think of his name now. He basically power bombs two people. It was Paul and Flex. That's what it was, Paul and Flex. But then out of nowhere, on the opposite sides of the range, you see Cyrus and Romo with double splashes, and we thought we were going to get some sort of pinfall combinations as two men were over in the corner, and then Malik, the distance this guy got, wow! All the way from one corner to the other with a wickedly crazy and effectively hit too. Top rope elbow drop. I thought, again, Malik, I was sensing he was going to win this thing. Came very close, I got a near fall. Then he put on his finisher that I know vaguely, Chuck knee. Vicious, nowhere knee strike. But apparently it wasn't enough. Then Malik, he's brawling with some other people. There's an elbow drop across the ring, as I said. But Cyrus, big boy, he comes back. Not only pulls off basically a pile driver, but a nice power move on that, and he gets the win in this multi-man dance. So here's my biggest takeaways to this. In this match, all five men, they really got to show what they're made of, and then there was like some strange alliances per se when some men were thinking kind of similarly. When you think about the dual splashes, all four men taking out this cocky prick, as it seemed, Flex. And then you really had this duking out of the powerhouses in this match, who in my opinion were definitely Chuck, Cyrus, and Malik. And overall, I really enjoyed this. I haven't heard much about Chuck Cyrus's work, nor have I heard much about Carlos Romo besides the fact he was partnered with a kid. I think I've seen like one other match by him. But yeah, I definitely would look out for more of these names. And I feel like right now we're just building a sub-roster within Wrestle Talk. Maybe they're actually going to start their own promotion. I don't know. I would like to see more of these guys, though. Following this, we go to Lori, who is backstage wearing a mask because of coronavirus. And basically, he is interviewing the winner of this match, who says he's going to do what he always do. He's going to hug everybody, because that's what we do. Maybe not during this time. And as he tried to hug Lori to celebrate, Lori runs out the damn building. And following this, we got women's action. Now, these two I'm a little bit more familiar with because I watch Rev Pro to a degree when I can. And I know Michelle Shaw recently won the Rev Pro Women's Championship at high stakes. In fact, all three of the major singles titles changed at Rev Pro high stakes. If y'all didn't see that event back in February, I highly encourage you to watch it. And she is known as a quintessential diva from Canada. Hello, Cindy. And she faced Mercedes Blaze, and I thought Mercedes Blaze had a very nice singles match here. I was a bit disappointed it wasn't a triple threat, but as soon as she got that wicked, what seemed like a double, like, jointed version of an armbar, where it's, like, not stretched out, but then bent even backwards further, after catching her out of DDT, kicking her out of that, immediately grabbing the arm, it was over. But I do like how Mercedes really showcased a lot of strong athleticism here. One with the springboard spear off the second rope, missile drop kick, and there were a couple of near spots where I thought she had her, including that wicked neck breaker. Ouch. Both of these women, they showcase why I love women's professional wrestling, and Michelle Shaw, she's on a roll right now since becoming champion. She really showcases to me a little bit of Will Ospreay in her to a degree because she just kept coming and coming and coming. I'm sure these two are going to meet up with each other more in a Rev Pro because I know that all three of these ladies are affiliated with that promotion. I'm just sad that Aaliyah couldn't compete. I'm sure that Aaliyah and Giselle will have a one-on-one sooner than later. And again, folks, I didn't know everybody on this card, so really it was more like if I was a booker and I was analyzing this, who do I want to follow more, per se? And that's the thing about being a wrestling fan. You try and find something that connects to you, but you also try to evolve when some stuff disappoints you. Gee, I wonder what I could be talking about at this moment. Oh, don't worry, I'll give you a simple saying thing at the end. But anyway, moving on from there, I really enjoyed this women's match. This was the only women's contest of the night. I'm surprised it was this early in the card. And then we get into one of my favorite matches of the night. And really, this second half, it's like each match just went over and over and over the other. Well, maybe the tag was like a little bit of an off spot, but I digress. Anyway, first off, Luke Owen. Mr. Baldhead himself, Sonic fan though, so I respect him. He was doing an interview backstage with Wrestle Talk Scholarship winner who's about to face the toughest adversary and Mr. Independent himself, David Starr. Kyle Newman says, I'm terrified. But before he can say anything else, who comes in? The product, Mr. Americano 140 himself. He knows how to use Twitter. He is Mr. Independent, the product, David Starr. I'm not Luke Owen. I'm not going to go through my phone and literally Google everything that connects to him. Bernie Sanders, that'd be way too damn much. Kudos to Luke Owen on doing that. And basically, he says that he finds it ridiculous that Common is basically getting a handout. Here he is, basically giving himself to independent wrestling, working his ass off, building his career in his name, and this guy just gets a handout, it seems. And now you get to face me. I find it rather, jokingly. And, of course, Luke Sully's like, well, it wasn't like it was a handout. And then, Pipe Bomb, Com says, I'd be pretty pissed off, too, if my mouth got me canceled. That trigger, David Starr, Luke Owen, know what that meant. I knew what that meant. For those that follow David Starr, you know exactly what that meant. So he just slaps him. And as we were about to see what's going on here, it looks like, hey, calm down. And Kyle Newman drops Luke Owen. Pretty sure he's still unconscious. Basically, following this, these two, they are literally brawling. Hey, a brawl. Brawling into the staging area. Hey, kudos to them, by the way, having pyro, too. Not bad at all. Well done, Ollie Davis. And following this, where we're supposed to get a singles match, it turned into this match. And by God, I can see why Kyle Newman is definitely Will Ospreay's protege. Tough love or not, the kid really held up with one of the best in the business today on the independents. David Starr and Kyle Newman laid it into each other, dishing out everything. At one point, Kyle Newman's literally wanting David Starr to just keep brutalizing him, and he did with some wicked, wicked chops. By the way, before this match even got started, they brought him, he did a moonsault off the little stage area they did, but thankfully there were some trainees there and David Starr, and they all were okay. And the match literally immediately went on. Basically, following this, though, David Starr, he unleashed fury in the corner with chops, form strikes, chops, form strikes, chops, form strikes, almost demonstrating that type of aggression you'd see out of Tomohiro Ishii. By the way, nice job with the ref going for the whole night with shorts. Anyway, following this, though, Kyle Newman, he pulls out a destroyer out of nowhere and a shooting star press, still not enough, and a guillotine brainbuster, really demonstrating he can really hold up with the best in the game today. None of it was still enough. However, David Starr felt all of it as he started trying to get feeling back in his arms and his hands and his neck because he had a stinger effect, clearly, from all those moves. But, of course, David Starr, he came back into play with some more offense, but then there was, out of nowhere, Scorpion kick, forearm smash by Kyle Newman, getting the better of David Starr. And then David Starr literally pulls out his trademark lariat and turns that kid inside out. And then a power bomb over the knee. Ouch! I thought David Starr had him. No, the guy kicked out. And then following this, we literally go to what looks like a top rope maneuver, only for Kyle Newman to come into play and pull off a wicked belly to belly. Not belly to belly. Belly to belly. And then we get a near fall after a unique bridging pinfall combination for Kyle Newman. He came this close beating David Starr. I was thoroughly impressed. Small package after that, after David Starr counters that move, and still not enough. Tries to get the product, doesn't do it. And then another lariat and freaking pile driver. You're thinking that's it? What the bloody hell? Kyle Newman kicked out. And David Starr is shocked and furious. So he goes off the ropes, not once, not twice, 3 times, and lariats the kid into next week. The match is over. They bump elbows. David Starr, I think, was pleasantly surprised. I think he earned the product's respect. He certainly earned my respect. I didn't know much about Kyle Newman outside the scholarship thing. I seen him a little bit when WrestleTalk did their showcase previews. Because, again, I follow WrestleTalk for UK Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Because NJPW is my #1. So was that. Well, with that being said, a very astonishing breakout performance and probably was the toughest match in this young man's career. So he definitely earned whatever WrestleTalk and Will Ospreay is providing him financially, mentally, and physically in the wrestling business. And I think he's going to go very far. As far as David Starr goes, he's already made man. He's all about the independence. He's all about bringing up wrestlers in independence. I think he made Kyle Newman look like a star, no pun intended. And I think he sees that he's going to be a star. I would love to see these two face each other again. I just wish I could see John Moxley versus David Starr, but I guess that's just going to have to wait. With that being said, though, this was a very very, very impressive match. And at this point, it was my match of the night. So, with that being said, we go backstage to the other person in Wrestle Talk, Chopper. Dance Chopper. And basically, he is backstage interviewing one half of our next match, as the next match was a tag match. Team Sin, as they're called. Nathan Cruz, the show stealer, and Lufer Steele, who is a giant physical specimen I've never seen before. I know Nathan Cruz vaguely from Defiant Wrestling. I remember that Ups and Downs match where, why, he faced Simon Miller, why, and he lost. Why, I don't know. But anyway, yes, James, that was for you. Anyway, he interviews them and he says, okay, give the people what they want, man. Dance, Chopper. And they immediately push him to the side. He's gone. And basically, they are called Team Sin, and basically they're here to show why they are the premier tag team to watch for. And they're facing the team of Robbie X and Scotty Davis. Both men you should know very well from the UK scene. Robbie X making names for himself all over the place, being known as the innovator of excellence. I learned that when he faced Pac, unmasked by the way, on Defiant Wrestling. Go watch Defiant Wrestling, folks, so you can learn a lot about some of these stars. That's how I started with some of these people outside Rev Pro that I didn't know. And Progress, because it turns out his partner in Progress, Scotty Davis, he is a tag team champion with, y'all might remember this, y'all might recognize this name, Jordan Devlin, who is currently the NXT Cruiserweight Champion. So, with that being said, this was a great back and forth match for quite a while, though. Nathan Cruz and Lucas Steele, they were controlling Scotty Davis, who took, I think, one point a Birmingham Hammer type maneuver on the apron by the two. Ouch. Robbie X gets a hot tag in, innovative indeed, counting a lot of stuff with rebound kicks, springboard kicks, and an interesting move, a modified gator roll type maneuver, almost like a swinging neck breaker, though. And Lucas, though, he comes into play and really be the difference maker here, taking out not only Robbie X, but Sky Davis multiple times with forearm smashes. There was a spiral type of corkscrew splash maneuver that Robbie X did pull off eventually, broken up by a headbutt by Nathan Cruz after some earlier miscommunication hung Nathan Cruz on the top rope in the most sensitive spot. Anyway, following this, though, Lucas with a faraway choke slam, good God, sets them up, it seems, for what you could call almost a heart attack. He had him up in the electric chair position, and basically Nathan Cruz come off the top rope, powerbomb, and lariat, boom, they're done. And the team Sin of Nathan Cruz and Lufer Steele, they get the win. Pinning, I believe, Scotty Davis, if I remember correctly. Apologies if I'm wrong, folks. I'm Matthew on Botchamania. So here's my thing. I basically knew about two of these people in this match, and I learned a lot about two others. If Lucas Steele and Nathan Cruz truly are a tag team on the UK scene, I think they're one to look out for. They are huge powerhouses. But the funny thing is, Lucas Steele, he out-heights, it seems, Nathan Cruz. So I could see that maybe coming into play, because I feel like these are two massive egos that could implode. Robbie X and Sky Davis demonstrated a lot of similar offensive tactics I thought worked really well together, but we already know who Sky Davis is working with. Robbie X, he's making a name for himself with the mask. I mean, maybe he and Ligero could do something, or are already doing something. I don't know. I'm going to definitely have to look up them stuff here. But I really enjoyed this match. It was a great tag match. At one point, I think the ref lost who was the legal people here, because tag matches, that's what happens when you're not a tag team specialist referee. But I thought it was really good, and I don't have a complaint. And I love how it all stayed within the area of the audience, ringside pretty much. Following this, though, we go into Chopper, who's back, probably still sore when he was just dropped on his ass. He interviews Adam from that five-way scramble, who basically says, I may have lost, but people know here that I'm still a winner, because I proved that I'm the most handsome, and I am the dropkick king, and I came out looking like a star. And then time is money, then he left. So, hey, see you on the circuit, Flex. I think that's not going to be the last we hear about him. With that being said, though, let's go into the next match. I know Aussie Open. I know what Kyle Fletcher is capable of. But damn, Connor Mills. Now I understand why you are true grit. Because this is the first match I've seen on Connor Mills. These two brutalized the hell out of each other. And I freaking loved it. At first, it was a testament of who could basically take control of the other and a test of strength as they were both challenging each other with running strikes. But then things really took a change when Mills took over the match, screwing up Kyle Fletcher's left arm. Fletcher, though, he takes control after a while of the arm being worked on with a wicked open palm strike and a pump kick. But then a spin-out package pile bomb later on in this match, I thought, holy hell, that was it. And then they made the comment, you know that whole idea about these people, ... died. One of the commentary people, they're like, ... dead. Yeah, I thought he was dead too. No, they kicked out near fall. Kyle Fletcher couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Basically following this, though, he goes into a lawn dart maneuver, only for Mills to turn it into a freaking reverse Rana. Jesus. And then we get a top rope draping cutter, per se, or DDT, I don't know. But basically, he hangs up Fletcher on the top rope, drops him, and goes for another fall. Nice near fall, but literally a rope break saved the match and let it continue. And then following this, Fletcher with a ridiculous brain buster into another near fall. And apparently, this is what busted open Mills on the nose, it looked like. Ouch. Impact. And then following this, these two are just whirling into each other, challenging each other's mentalities and will. Which one's going to break? As they were both just chopping each other, then exchanges and kicks. My gosh, though, with the freaking no fans there, you could hear the sound of every impact. Multiple times, not only this match, but previous matches in the match I'll get to soon. I was going damn and oh. Folks, go watch this if you want to forget about the words of the world, the crap done in some businesses, and overall, you love wrestling. That's all I gotta say about that. Anyway, moving on from here, though, Mill with a ridiculous, after that, he goes for a Liger bomb, only for that to be countered. And then it looks like he's going for a John Moxley special with the rebound lariat, only to be hit basically with another forearm smash that drops him. And then Mill basically, he gets dropped. Oh, no, excuse me. Mill actually drops Fletcher. I think Fletcher was the one doing it. Anyway, Fletcher, he's finally busted open too. Both men are drawing blood. You know this match is about to get real if it hasn't already. It looks like they're setting up for a top rope, my God, pile driver, only for Mills to fight out of it, and DDT Fletcher falls up with a near fall. Nope, still not enough. 450, pit perfectly. Still not enough to put away one half of Aussie Open, one of the best tag teams in the world if you all actually follow the UK scene. I remember when they actually faced GLD back at Royal Crest last year. I need to go rewatch that match too. Anyway, headbutts galore to the arm by Mills as he tries to now submit Fletcher at the limb he was working on in the beginning, but kind of like left to the side. And it looks like he's going to submit into what they basically call the Rings of Saturn. So that's why Pac's submission is now called the Brutalizer. I was wondering what happened with that name. Anyway, U5 was going to tap out. He did not. And then a torture rack counter by Mills. Basically, that got countered by Fletcher into... Hey, he's going to the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm proud about that. We'll talk about that a little bit. Anyway, beautiful Liger bomb that would make Juice and Thunder Liger proud. And then a clothesline that closed him out of his damn boots. And then a long dart and a jumping pile driver that finally gave Kyle Fletcher the win in an all-out, bloody, aggressive brawl and fight. That is what professional wrestling brings, folks, out of the best of people. Under any circumstances, when you love the business that much and want to give to those that support you. These two welled into each other, and honestly, at this point, this was my match of the night. I loved David Starr and Kyle Newman, but this match right here, when I really didn't know who was going to win this, I loved it. And then they bump elbows afterwards, because, you know, wash your hands, you know, physical contact, stuff like that. So massive respect by both. I would not be surprised if these two meet each other again one-on-one in the foreseeable future. I was thoroughly impressed. And I definitely need to look more into Connor Mills' work after that. Kyle Fletcher still making a name for himself as a singles all over the place. And this match just adds to that. Which brings us into the one match I knew the most about, the one match I was looking forward to the most initially, and the one match that I thought, this is going to be something very unique. And boy was it. And it turned out to be my match of the night. Go figure. It was Bia's girlfriend, as the announcer said, Will Ospreay, versus Ospreay's girlfriend, Bea Priestley. Now, you all know Bea Priestley if you follow the UK scene, but I know Bea Priestley right here from America, not just from AEW, people. I actually did watch WCPW. I watched Defiant Wrestling. I know she's from New Zealand. She faced Neil Dashwood. You all might remember her as Emma, per se, okay? And really, as far as Bea making her name for herself here, Go watch the match from AEW Doc of her versus Chris Statlander. Ignore the thing that comes out in the audience. Just look at the in action in the ring. That was the breakout singles performance for Bea Priestley as far as America goes, to put her name on the map. And then, of course, she's also been involved with Defiant Wrestling, because, again, I watched Defiant Wrestling until its end. I missed that promotion. And I also remember her from Pro Wrestling E. With that being said, you know, it's something special when you have a wrestling couple, whether married or just starting a relationship or been in a relationship in a while. You really wonder what brings them together, and can they actually duke it out with each other in the ring? And you wonder the match being held off in the ring. Is it a soap opera? Is it game of one-upsmanship? Is it a love for, like, the sport? Is it a form of a date? I don't know what the hell this was besides brutal, aggressive, hilarious in the beginning, and overall just pure, massive respect, passion, and love, not only for each other, but the business. Damn! So, with that being said, let me go ahead and try and briefly go through this. The match, of course, starts off with Will Ospreay acting like a complete asshole, just having fun, teasing Bea like, oh, you want me? Come at me, come at me. And he's even gave her, like, the only cheer in the building when she was introduced, like, hey. Will Ospreay, he was amped, he was fired up, and this is proof why Will Ospreay, on any card, he can steal the damn show. Basically, this match really picked up, though, when Bea Priestley pulled off some ELP-type top rope type walk, tightrope walk, excuse me. Could not get my words right. I'm after Botchamania. And then Ospreay, he comes back into play, though, gets control over Bea. By the way, Ospreay showing a little bit of Okada in the very beginning with the cellophane, but Bea's like, yeah, I'm not going to let you do that to me. I'm not going to go easy on you. You better not go easy on me. And boy, they did not. Ospreay with a handstand kick took Bea's head off at this point. I hope Bea legitimately was just selling, but I think she might have really actually got hurt here at one point. But I'm sure that Ospreay and Bea, they both expected that. I mean, these two have been dating for the last 4 years. Anyway, twisting neck breaker. Ouch! With a ridiculous knee strike by Bea Priestley. Again, Stardom exercising more of a kick-based foundation with their overall wrestling layout and routine. Anyway, following this, Will Ospreay, he turns it up a notch, finally gets into gear. Pit, cheerio, and a side slam. I thought, that was it. Nope, not quite. Bea Priestley, though, at this point, she's just taking punishment from Will Ospreay and wanting more of it. Wicked chops. Some of the loudest chops and strikes I've heard in a wrestling match. And again, no fans there, no ambient noise. You can hear everything clearly. Kalimar type thing, or maybe more like a Kota Khan thing, where after that, he literally looks like he took the heart of her, takes a bite out of it. Then again, Kota Khan, he just squeezes and drinks the blood, but I digress. Turns up the aggression, and then after this, Bea Priestley wants more. She's getting angry, and Will Ospreay's like, oh, you're mad. Okay. Forearms. Bea's just taking it, then Bea drops Ospreay with a ridiculous, emphatic, effective, loud forearm smash. Then Ospreay, he eventually gets up as Bea Priestley goes to the top rope, takes her legs out, and Bea Priestley falls to the floor. I think she hit her chin on the apron. Ouch! And then following this, Will Ospreay tries to go after Bea Priestley with that Sasuke Space Tiger Dive special. Y'all remember that from his match, of course, with Hiromu Takahashi at the Chicken Dime Bomb at Wrestle Kingdom. Only to be caught in the ropes, and God, the man's neck. Every time he gets DDT, I don't know if it's worse with him or Kota. He gets DDT planted on the apron with a spike DDT, and then Bea Priestley follows up with what else? God. Top rope freaking double stomp that drops both him and her to the floor. What the hell are these two doing? Then, following that, we get a ridiculous knee strike. Again, focus Bea Priestley on the strikes with the knees and the kicks. With a unique bridge pin, almost like a side suplex type pin with the bridge, while she's still scraping her back. The back was her story in this match, that's for sure. And then a forearm basically wakes up Ospreay at one point, where he realizes what's going on here. And then these two are just welling into each other. It's almost like you get a yay boo situation. I'm pretty sure they'd probably be yaying for BM booing Ospreay. They're just welling into each other one after another, and then there's a ridiculous chop by Ospreay, followed by a suplex, only for Bea Priestley to immediately stand up and issue a knee strike of her own, again, against Will Ospreay. And then following this, Will Ospreay, he comes back into play with that traditional step up, wall kick off his opponent into the enziguri, drops Bea Priestley, only for Bea to pull off a freaking destroyer, third destroyer of the night, by the way, for those keeping track, into a near fall. The match continues, dear God. And then following this, Ospreay, he pulls out his traditional hook kick, goes for his ace in the hole, the ox cutter, but before he can even spring off the ropes, Bea goes after him, pulls him off the ropes into a ridiculous suplex spot, and another crazy knee strike. My God. And then following this, knee pad down, she's like, I'm ending you, this is over, only for there to be a headbutt in the corner. And she goes for a sunset powerbomb. Ospreay holds onto the ropes, but then Ospreay gets caught in one of his own moves as Bea puts him in cheeky Nando's kick position and nails it. And then following this, by the way, did anyone else notice? Well, I guess I didn't get there, so I'm good. After this, there was a forearm and a discus and a kick, and then Ospreay's just unleashing fury again, going into that next gear because he's on a whole nother level. If you all looked at his promos and his wrestling work. And he literally goes for the hidden blade, countered into a rainmaker? When did Bea Priestley do that? It literally was like a rainmaker because she still held wrist control as both of them were down. As she was getting up, though, maintain wrist control, she grabs the other wrist. Apparently, she's been watching New Japan Pro Wrestling, or maybe she's worked or trained with these two. A Kamagoye. Hey, y'all know whose move that is, right? But still not enough. And then following this, Will Ospreay, he literally goes into gear, I think, 15 at this point, when he pulls off a ridiculous standing Spanish fly and a hidden blade into, finally, the Stormbreaker. And that was it. 1, 2, 3. My God, you look at the evolution and growth of both of these incredible wrestlers, and you look at their connection to professional wrestling, and you look at, well, their relationship. They left it all out there for the love of not only themselves, but more so the love of the sport. An absolutely incredible first and an incredible match. And I've seen Johnny Gargano versus Candice LeRae countless times, too. That's another wrestling couple that I truly do admire and respect. But these two right here, they are the overall, that was just unfreaking believable, okay? If you don't watch anything else tonight, Monday, and this is being recorded Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on March 16th, 316 day. Oh, hell yeah. I had to do that. Sorry, I don't drink beer. I'm straight edge, but anyway. And then following this, Ospreay, he, of course, because he won, as tradition shows in Japanese promotions, he basically says, hello, where's everybody? And then he just shows up as a massive clown, but he loves it. He loves it. He loves what he did here. He loves this so much. And basically he says, it's No Fans Monday. And he just acts like a complete total clown. Just probably on the highest hype he's ever been in the world right now. And then he admires this event that was put on. He thanks us for tuning in. He thanks the fans. He thanks everybody that worked here. And then he basically puts over Bea, puts up how Bea basically defined herself ever since that Botch Canadian Destroyer in WCW. Oh, wait. WCPW. Botch Ospreay. He realized that. I'm Matthew Botchamania. He even acknowledged Matthew Botchamania. He also acknowledges a bunch of names, missed a lot of names, talked about how Bea has really made a name for herself through Japan, through AEW, misses the Elite, drops all the names, Cody, Omega, the Young Bucks, etc. And basically talks about how she did this on her own. He had nothing to do with it, unlike some other couples we can think of. And he has so much incredible pride, respect, and so proud of this wrestler. And then he basically calls all the faces that were involved in the festivities tonight to the ring as they send off. But he also talks about how he thanks also the heels that were in the ring. Nathan. That was funny. I hope we get Nathan versus Ospreay one-on-one next after that. Because he definitely said this is not going to be a one-off. And I'm glad it won't be. I loved this. He also was like, top draw! As they talked about how they had a peak of 11,000 plus people tune into this. Me included the entire way. And also how they raised, I think, near 8,000 pounds. Because again, everybody here on this forum did it absolutely for free. The only payment that they are getting is from the super chats from us, the fans, and all the t-shirt sales. And I encourage people to go buy that shirt. I might even myself if I had money still. But with that being said, he thanks us all. He loves this so much. And of course, he ends with the definitive line. This is what it's all about. Independent wrestling, professional wrestling, screw coronavirus, wash your hands. So with that was the first ever No Fans Monday Wrestle Talk Showcase hosted by professional wrestlers on the independent scene and in conjunction led by, really, Will Ospreay. I don't know about you all, but if I can actually get more of this, maybe not as a weekly thing because I think it'll be overkill because we all see what happens on a weekly basis with some stuff, but even like a maybe monthly form during this time of crisis because we're going to be quarantined for a while, it looks like, folks. I would not mind that one bit. And I thank everybody for what they contributed, what they did, and what they showcased, no pun intended, and gave us today because God, did I need this escape in professional wrestling from the independent scene at the heart of where professional wrestling started, from all the BS that's happening in the world and other companies too. With that being said, this was a phenomenal first time ever wrestling showcase. I look forward to most of the names I do know as I saw on the show, but I also extremely look more forward to learning about more of the names I don't know that I saw on this forum. And Bea Priestley, Will Ospreay, thank you for that one time. If you can make that a once-in-a-lifetime match, I greatly would appreciate it. I don't need to see that match again. You both demonstrated how much you love professional wrestling. Also, I'm glad I called it. Will Ospreay was the winner. Told you, Chris and Cindy. With that being said, folks, I am done here with this simple take. This was an absolute A-class show and a great escape for us, the fans, to get away from the wickedness that is coronavirus and some people in the world and how they're taking it. I loved it. Simple as that. With that being said, did you all tune into it yet? If you haven't, go watch it. Do it. Why are you listening to me anymore? Just do it. You're missing out. Because this wasn't sports entertainment. This was fucking professional wrestling. God, I love this shit. With that being said, I thank you all for tuning in for this simple take. Please stay tuned for more stuff. I might even do more content this week. If you want to know more about me, know this. I'm just a simple man. And if you haven't figured out by now, I am a lifelong fan of wrestling. So if you want to follow me and talk anything wrestling, the 5 brands of WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, NWA, AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, Stardom, Pro Wrestling Noah. I could probably repeat myself, but I think you all get the idea. Look at my freaking background, okay? Look me up on Twitter, nfoster1916. Instagram, nfoster1916. Hashtag Simple Life. Give you a nice hello, positive encouragement, my thoughts, moments in wrestling. Because I've seen a lot of wrestling shows. So much on my bucket list. Tempted to try and figure out a way to see Wrestle Dynasty, even if it costs me. But I digress. Also, if you haven't figured it out by now, support wrestling. Support my friends in NoDQ, because they're the reason I got into YouTube too. Please, buy a shirt. I have a shirt. Buy merch. Support my friends. Just do it. NoDQ.com/merch store. Follow NoDQ on other social media platforms. Your opinions matter. Comments and everything. Polls, columns, memes, gifts, reviews, recaps, polls, sexy female pics. You name it's there. Primarily WWE with a little bit of AEW and shades of what might be happening on other stuff. But again, Wrestle Talk, I go for NJPW. That's just me. You know, if I actually had the time, the journalist degree, and I wasn't always working in college, I would love to bring NJPW news to NoDQ. Let me know what y'all think about that. How's that for a change in the world? Anyway, with that being said, stay tuned, of course, to AEW Spark. That will be coming this week, as well as the next 205 Live Matters, and who knows what else. You all want something different, let me know. You all think I should tune into something different, let me know. I would love to give you more simple takes on what I learn or discover in wrestling, either by just pure luck, or by you, the fans that define it. Because again, we are Preferred Wrestling. We define it. I'm definitely getting tired, as you can tell. But with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, hit the bell to know when the next video is going to go live on this channel. Hit the subscribe button. God bless you all who's helped me and enjoyed and expand upon this creative journey. Thank you to the 124 that have tuned in. Stay tuned tomorrow night for AEW Spark with 2 potential guests, Mike and Gina, from my Team All Elite Facebook group led by Mark the Griff Reviews. Please follow all my friends' YouTube channels. I'm still rebuilding my YouTube channel. I need to put them in my wrestling community tab forum on the homepage. And until next time, in this moment of crisis, take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your loved ones. Enjoy life. Enjoy wrestling. There's more than ever now. And it just goes to show, not even coronavirus can stop wrestling. Fuck the coronavirus! And support independent wrestling, professional wrestling, and just love wrestling. And until the next video, I hope you all, as always, have a good night. Thank you, Wrestle Talk, Will Ospreay, Bea Priestley, and Independent Wrestling for saving what was going to be a very dull Monday. Good night, folks.